players for tonight's game are registered with the WIA. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game. Attitude of good sportsmanship should be upheld by all spectators, players, and coaches, no matter what your personal feelings or loyalties may be in tonight's contest. The referee this evening is Larry Musselwhite. The umpire, Travis Smith. The line judge, Kyle Blackburn. The linesman, Mike Cox. And the back judge, John Pasquale. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups for both teams this evening. For the visitors from Seaquam, as announced by head coaches Evan Chan and Kevin Phillips. On the offensive side of the ball, at a receiver spot, number 5, Luke Siemens. Also at receiver, number 7, Brendan Johnson. At left tackle, number 75, Evan Ruella. At left guard, number 56, Angad Freewall. At center for the Seahawks, number 54, Ishan Chen. At right guard, number 69, Siraj Dhaliwal. At right tackle, number 74, Jal Sangira. At receiver, number 11, Corbin Grant. At receiver, number 7, Brendan Johnson. At a running back spot, number 28, Kristen Carlin Diaz. And a quarterback for the Seahawks, number 8, James Mather. Starting lineup for the Wildcats on the defensive side of the ball this evening, as announced by head coach Marcus Hughes. At defensive end, number 51, Nate Nunez. At nose tackle, number 73, Jacob Bubble. At defensive end, number 50, Rickon Collins. At left linebacker, number 40, Ezra DiCheron. At middle linebacker, number 52, Michael Gomez. At right linebacker, number 32, Jake Mitten. At the money spot, number 21, Kevin Buckley. At rover, number 28, Dave Abbott. At quarterback, number 26, Brendan Anderson. Also at quarterback, number 3, Chris Clinton. And at safety for the Wildcats, number 6, Dominic Dean.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildcat TV. We're here tonight at Wildcat Memorial Stadium, where the Wildcats are going to start the 2019-20 season with a team that's traveling from Seaquam, the Seagulls. They're from Delta, BC, and we got a whole new thing happening this year. Jerry Oliver's alongside me. I'm Shane Evans. Whole new thing. I've been doing this now. I think this is my 14th season in the booth. Yep, I think it has. And the only thing we've ever seen on the field is a wing T offense, but now with an entire new coaching staff with head coach Marcus Hughes, he's bringing in something new. And just to give you a little taste of what's happening here is Marcus Hughes comes to us with 11 years of head coaching experience, but his most recent stop was at Fullerton College in California. He's also done some coaching in New York. Had a chance to sit down and talk with him a little bit yesterday, and that wing T, nope. It's going to be a multi-spread offense with no huddle.
Right, which is actually kind of nice because that's going to actually really take advantage of some of the Oak Harbor Wildcat strengths. Is, we have a returning 1,000-yard rusher coming back, but, a big, I guess, deficiency that you have to come over when you're switching over to the spread principles and concepts versus the wing is your quarterback drop steps and also your receiver concepts for how to run their routes, because that's just something that these kids have not been able to do and haven't done for over 20-plus years.
Right, and Coach Hughes was saying that that's been the learning curve for his team and for his coaching staff, which actually is all new as well.
Right.
A few guys come back that were volunteers, I think, before and now are in paid positions, but entire new staff, whole new concept, and the whole goal right now is to get better every week, learn the new schemes and the new offense, because it's not like a wing T matches up nicely with a multi-spread offense. It's not like, that's kind of like this, right, Coach? Is one of the things he said. There's none of that happening. It's all brand new.
Exactly. Well, and speaking with Marcus, too, before the game today, he had mentioned one thing that he is a little bit worried about is his special teams, because as you know, when you're going through preseason and workups to the regular season, there's not really a whole lot of contact because of the concussion protocols, and you want to keep your kids healthy for the season. So that is one thing that he wants to really make sure that these kids play well and focus on today is going to be their special teams, to make sure these kids wrap up, they tackle, and they man their lanes correctly.
Well, and that's what the preseason is for. Luckily, we do have one preseason game before we get into league.
Which is nice.
Jerry and I are going to step away here just for a minute so we can have the national anthem. We'll be back on the other side and get to the kickoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, please draw your attention to the 50-yard line as Oak Harbor NJ ROTC color guard parades the colors. They are commanded by Cadet Chief Petty Officer DeAndre Dominguez, escorted by Cadets Taylor Press, Brighton Smith, Dylan Judney, Trina Desquitato, I'm sorry about that, and Drew Dixon. The Oak Harbor program now has 220 cadets enrolled this school year. And once again, that reminder to everyone, please remain standing following the national anthem this evening until the colors have been completely retired to the sideline of the playing field. And now, the first of our two national anthems this evening. Please welcome, under the direction of Mr. Brandon Nelson and student directors Keely Partridge and Cheyenne Winchester, the Oak Harbor High School Band. Now it's time for some Wildcat football.
So we have flipped the coin, decided who's got the football first. We've got the anthems taken care of, and it's time for the 2019-20 Wildcat football season to begin under the new direction of Marcus Hughes.
I'm excited for Marcus this year. You know what? Because he's bringing change to the Wildcat offense and defense. But, you know, it's going to be high octane, high pace, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with change.
Nothing wrong with the change. He's a little concerned about the youth of his team. You can't get prepared until you're actually here. And, you know, they've worked out all summer, done some camps, started practicing, you know, about 13 days ago or something like that. And now here we are. We're at Friday Night Lights. We're not under the lights yet because, you know, it's early here in September, but that west to east wind is blowing right through this place, so you're going to want the wind in your favor going in the second and the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and Coach Hughes mentioned he was surprised that it was so cold already, and I said, no, man, this is short weather for Washington, so welcome. You're going to have to get a little bit acclimated. So one thing that we can expect to see with the Oak Harbor offense tonight is, you know, he's going to run a lot of counter and power and some inside zone, and we're going to see some personnel of 10, 11, and 12. So we're going to look to get the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands fast, so he'll be in shotgun. You'll see a lot of one-step and three-step drops from the quarterback spot, and it's get the ball out your hands nice and quick.
So it looks like the Wildcats are going to receive the opening half kickoff. Didn't see whether or not they chose to do that or if they deferred to the second half, or actually if the other team deferred to the second half. And back to receive it, it looks like it's going to be Jake Mitten, the 175-pound junior. Alongside of him looks like Caden Anderson, number 35. He's a 150-pound sophomore, if I got that number right. Or is it 45 out
number
there?
45.
That's Caden Lekelt. Okay, Lekelt.
There we go. He's a junior.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about what we're going to see from this Canadian Seahawks high school football team here, so I had a conversation with the coach there, and I asked him, how do you guys prepare to play, you know, American rules football? and he says, you know, they're within a 20-mile radius from the Canadian border, and so this is the only school in British Columbia that actually plays American rules. So these kids coming up.
These kids play American rules? That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
So what do they do?
Yeah, so they play American rules, but coming up through the Canadian-style Pop Warner program, they actually play Canadian rules. So
which for those of you that don't know, that's 3-down football.
That is 3-down football. Yeah, and you can have motions when the ball snaps.
Towards the line of scrimmage.
12 people on the field. The field's 8 yards wider as well.
It's longer.
It is longer. So we'll see how they adapt tonight.
Well, we got it underway, and it looks like Jake Mitten's going to get the first carry. Little fake end around. Oh, he's got a lot of room right up the middle. Gets it past the 20 to the 25, where he's brought down by number 25. That would be Rowan Sato. Yes, Sato.
Yeah, Sato, yeah. We'll call him Mr. Rowan. Yeah, Rowan actually had a nice, he maintained his lane on that. He broke down, made a good tackle, so you can tell that those guys have been practicing the American-style way of football, of getting your head on the right side of the offensive player there.
So here's the first snap of the 2019-20 season. It's going to be shotgun formation with 4 receivers to the bottom side of your screen. The Citizen's going to do a quick out to number 45, LaKelt. He's got lots of space. He's out to the 40, brought down at the 45. Number 2 on the stop, that's Xavier Cole.
Yeah, you know, what actually made that play possible there was Matt Kelly, the wide receiver. He's 6'2", 190-pound junior. He was able to maintain his block, got his butt to the right side of the field, opened up the lane, and our running back came through the hole. Nice job.
Pistol formation this time for a Citizen. This time he's going to pitch it to his back. That's LaKelt again on the carry. He's going to pick up about 4 before he's dropped by number 9, Manny Sahota.
Yeah, Manny Sahota actually shed his block on the wide receiver on that, number 13 of the Wildcats, Aiden Schofield. He's a 5'9", 150-pound wide receiver junior. So right now the Wildcats are going to be in trips.
Triple formation to the top of the screen. 1 back to a Citizen's right. Oh, that's going to stop. Yeah, a little hasty there on the offensive line. Coach was also talking about his offensive line has got to be a key for him, and they're young as well. He's got 2 starters on the offensive line that are sophomores.
Right.
And then Nate Nunez, the senior, kind of anchoring that group.
Right. Well, and with Nathaniel Nunez there, you know, he had mentioned that this guy is he's the line captain. He's the guy that keeps everything put together over there.
So a Citizen, same formation. This time he's going to roll to his right. I think he's going to keep it. Doesn't get away from the tackler. Brought down by big number 74. That's Jaskarat Sagahara.
Yeah, Sagahara there, 74, was actually able to shed his block on the Wildcat guard defender, number 52, Michael Gomez, who's 195 pounds. So really right there, he's going to have to make sure he maintains his block, he keeps his feet, and keeps his hands underneath his pads there.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 19. They get the signal from the sideline. They're going to move 3 of the receivers to the bottom side of the screen. Actually, is there 4 of them down there? No, 3 of them. Citizen takes the snap, rolls to his left, finds the man. Oh, finds the man from the other team. Ball is picked off. Returned by number 11, Corbin Grant. He gets it down to the 25-yard line almost of the Wildcats, where the Seahawks, will take over 1st and 10 on the turnover.
Yeah, unfortunately, right there, the Oak Harbor Wildcat, Cameron there, the quarterback, the junior, this is actually his very first start of his high school career. But what he's got to understand is if you don't have an open man when you're running a flood to the short side of the field, if your man's not there, just throw the ball away, live to play another down.
It's a pitch to the back. Makes a move, does not get away from the tackler. Stopped by number 26, Brendan Anderson. Short gain, looks like he picked up 2 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8, and the ball's going to be on the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Anderson came up from his DB position there. He actually was able to shed the block of the wide receiver from the Seahawks, number 7 there. Actually broke down, read the play, put his hips in the right position, and made a great tackle.
Shotgun formation for the Seahawks. Put a man in motion. He's going to pass it. We got a penalty flag. Pass is complete to number 7. That's Brandon Johnson, but we had a penalty flag on the play. On the coverage was Brendan Anderson for our Wildcats. We had an illegal shift, yep. Saw a little bit of motion happening there when that occurred, and so they're going to back them up 5 yards from the last line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a second down, and we're going to call it 12 yards to go.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that they do have to adapt to when coming over to America. You know, it's like that movie that's coming out, Coming to America #2. Hopefully it's as good as the first one. But
number 2s are never as good as the first one.
But it's been a long time, though, and it is Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
You know?
I don't know.
But what they got to remember is everybody has to be set, and you can only have one man in motion.
And if more than one are in motion, you have to get reset.
Exactly.
Everybody has to get reset. So we got 3 receivers in this set, 2 to the top of the screen. Send a man in motion again. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Squirts away from the first initial tacklers, gets to the secondary. It looks like number 21 for the Wildcats, Kelvin Wepley on the stop. He's a 5'11", 165-pound senior stepping in to make that stop.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good job by the end there. Now, what needs to also take place is number 40 for the Wildcats, the middle linebacker. He's got to come in there and fill that hole just a little bit faster, and he needs to get a better read on that.
Pass is incomplete from the quarterback. It was intended for number 5, Luke Siemens, and on the coverage was Jake Mitten.
Yeah, Jake Mitten actually saw that play opening up to the flat there. He knew he had flat responsibilities, and he was able to break down in that zone coverage and made a nice, good play there.
So now the quarterback for the Seahawks is number 8, James Mather. They're going to go for it on 4th down. This is definitely 4-down territory, even with the wind at their back. Mather's going to go for the end zone. He's going to throw it out of the end zone, intended for number 7, Brandon Johnson. On the coverage is number 3, Chris Hoppick.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know if he intentionally threw that ball away, but that was actually a smart play because the Wildcats had great coverage on the backside of the defense there, and nothing was open. So that's a very good job there by this young Wildcat defense.
So the interception does not come back to hurt the Wildcats. The Wildcat defense gets a turnover on downs. So Asinison's going to bring the troops back out for the second series of the football game. Difficult snap. Asinison has to try to get on the football, but there's a fumble, and I think that the Seahawks have recovered it. I have not seen a signal. There it is from the White Hats. So a little mishandle on the snap. Ball's on the turf, and the Seahawks recover it. They have it 1st and 10. The ball's going to be resting on the 13-yard line of the Wildcats.
Yeah, 2 costly penalties right now by the Oak Harbor Wildcats is putting a lot of pressure on this young defense. So right now these guys are getting challenged. So we're going to have to see if these young kids can go ahead and step up to the challenge here. We're going to want to watch number 11 for the Seahawks, Corbin Grant. He's actually got multiple offers from D2 schools over here in the States, and he's got some offers actually over in Canada where they play Canadian rules as well too.
So it's going to be a handoff to the first back through, has nowhere to go. Finishing off the play for the Wildcats in number 40, Ezra DeChurong.
Yeah, Ezra came from his middle linebacker position there, actually did a really nice job and attacked the hole where he saw it open. And that's what you have to do as a linebacker. You have to have a lot of contact courage. You got to run through the hole, put your body on the line, and just put it all out there and see what happens, and that's what he did right there.
Loss of 3 on the play. Mather in the shotgun, drops back looking for a receiver in the end zone. Good adjustment by that receiver right there, number 2. That's Xavier Cole for the touchdown. Wildcats trail now with 7:49 remaining in the first quarter by a score of 6-0 with the extra point remaining.
Yeah, that's a real tough position for them to be in. But number 21 there of the Wildcats, now he just didn't get out of his out of his back pedal just soon enough. So what you got to do when you're back pedaling, you kind of keep your left hand on the wide receiver so you can see where they are, because you're allowed to have contact until the ball's in the air. But since he wasn't able to fill out his position to where the wide receiver was, he was able to get a step on him and break loose for a touchdown at the corner of the end zone.
Snap and the kick. The kick is up. It looks like it went right through, and it did. So now the Wildcats trail by a score of 7-0, and they will be receiving the kickoff after the score. Yeah. So that was a really good job, though, by Xavier Cole, because he had to adjust to get to that football, because it was not thrown the way he was running.
No, it was not. So he had to have really good what we call a hip action on that. But that was just a good read on the ball,
It was. He read the ball. He went and got it. So now the Wildcats are going to take over here, and they're going to have their third possession. Unfortunately, we're off to a little bit of a rocky start here, the Wildcats. They had 2 turnovers in their first 2 possessions. Now it's time. Hopefully those jitters are now gone. You know, get out there, kind of relax a little bit, get a few yards, get some momentum, change this thing around a bit.
Absolutely, and it only takes one play, not that big of a deal, but right now hopefully the jitters are out of the Wildcat system. You know, it's first game of the season. You're playing a team from Canada, so you feel like, you know, you got the weight of America on your shoulders, but right now they just got to go and just play football, relax, trust the process, trust the system, and see what happens.
Well, and execute the little things too, right? Make sure that you're doing all the little things right. So the kind of the anchor of every offensive line is that center.
Absolutely.
And so the kickoff happened. It hits the ground. It goes into the end zone, so it's going to be a touchback. The Wildcats will take it over on the 25-yard line, I believe. And for the Wildcats, that center now is John Leap. He's a 6'2", 265-pound sophomore.
Right.
And he's the nose tack guard, and he's the center. And so, first time under the lights, you're a sophomore, you're the center, you're calling all the shots there on that line. He's got a little pressure on him, so
he does.
Got to do what he's supposed to do, anchor that.
Well, and he's been playing football for Elite House for a very long time, so he definitely has some experience. But it's always different experience when you're underneath Friday Night Lights to see what happens.
So Sinison has him in a 2-receiver set with 2 backs. He's going to hand it off straight up the gut to LeKelt. LeKelt takes it to first down yardage and tackled by Xavier Cole in the secondary, but not before he picks up 14 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that actually was a very nice trap play and a good trap block there by number 52, Michael Gomez of the Wildcats. He just blasted there on number 72 there for the Seahawks and opened up a nice big running lane for LeKelt.
Same formation. Again, hands it off to LeKelt. LeKelt again has plenty of space, but this time only picks up 5. Brought down by number 11, Corbin Grant. He's their go-to guy on both sides of the football, is what I was told by Hughes.
Yeah, I mean, he really is, and you want to really take him out of the game because that's what they have there. But right now what the Wildcats are doing, they're going to their strength because LeKelt, he's a 1,000-yard returner, a rushing returner that the Wildcats have. So you definitely want to make sure you get him in the offensive mix, get his rhythm going, because when all else fails, if you can't throw the ball, you can always pound the ball.
Same formation once again. Sinison again hands it off to LeKelt. LeKelt's dropped by 14, 15, 19. Justin Eng.
Yeah, that was some good, tough yardage there. I like what Coach is doing with his play calling right now. He's just getting them settled, so they're getting their play calls and signals from the sideline. Just run the ball up the middle, run through your big hog mollies.
Third down, 3 yards to go. This time it's going to be a pitch to LeKelt around the right side. He's got room. He's at the first down marker. It's going to depend on the spot. But I think he got it based on where the line judge is standing. Did not catch the number of the would-be tackler of the Seahawks.
Yeah, I missed that too. But right now we have a little bit of a mismatch there with the Seahawks. I think it's number 69. He's 6'1", 215 pounds, but I don't really think he's 215 pounds. He looks more like about 170 pounds.
Receiver on each side of the line this time with hands off to LeKelt once again. He's got all sorts of running room. He spins out of the first tacklers, and then he gets, that was Jake Mitten actually, excuse me, on that carry. And tackled in the secondary, but not before he got a first down. Looks like number 85 or 99 actually, Xavier Hendrickson came in to make a stop.
Yeah, that was actually a good job of the defensive line there sharing their block, but Mitten with a nice spin hitting the hole with no regard has tons of contact courage, and that's what you need.
Again, Mitten with a carry. This time he picks up 5, tackled by a host of Seahawks, including number 19, Justin Eng.
Well, what was able to make that play possible by the Wildcats was number 74, Cameron. He's 5'8", 180 pounds, and he's a senior, and he actually was able to control the man in front of him, so he's controlling the line of scrimmage, and he's able to make these nice big holes for the running backs to run through.
Again, Mitten with the carry, straight up the middle, jumps over a tackler after bouncing off one before that. Inside the 30-yard line, down to the 32. First down Wildcats. On the stop was number 58, Taj, I'm going to say Hootie.
Or we can just call him Taj, too, the Canadian guy.
Looks like LeKelt in the backfield now with a citizen. Straight drop back pass, rolls to his left, looks for a man right through the middle. Wide open is big number 44. He rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a great call there by the offensive coordinator, head coach of the Oak Harbor Wildcats, Marcus Hughes. He saw that they were going to be coming with a blitz with lots of pressure up the middle there, and what they did, they left that middle zone wide open because they had a single high safety, which gives your slot back a wide open slot on the post there. Nice ball delivered from the quarterback, first touchdown pass of his career. Nice job.
That's Nolan Bing. He's a 6'2", 220-pound tight end, and he's a sophomore. So Mitten's going to be set to do the kicking. Looks like a citizen. Oh, it looks like it got blocked. It did, and it's no good. So the Wildcats now trail by a score of 6-7 with 4:49 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, that's a way to make sure you have your confidence up because the Wildcats did start a little bit shaky on offense, but I liked what Marcus Hughes did with his offense. I'm sure he said, guys, calm down, we have this. He ran the ball, he got his running backs and his offensive linemen, most importantly, in a certain type of rhythm of the season there. They settled down and they were able to execute the offense perfectly. Nice job.
Well, and the sustained drive, you know, that just builds confidence. They were able to move the football in big chunks of yards.
Yes.
And so that's just confidence boosting. Hey, you know, offensive line coach will be saying, hey, you pushed them all over the field. Just keep doing it. Just keep staying with your man. Give your guys a chance to run. And I'm sorry, with LeKelt and Mitten back there, they're going to get some yards if you give them a little bit of a gap.
Well, absolutely. And you're going to want to make sure you get those guys going, like I said, in a certain amount of rhythm because they're returner runners, but most importantly, they're power runners. And if you're wanting to run your trap game and your power run game, which the Wildcats did on that, you want to make sure you get those guys going in rhythm.
So Matt Kelly has got it teed up, ready to kick it away. It's headed towards the sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds, where that means is going to be an illegal procedure. And the Seahawks are going to get the football at, I think, the 30, or is it the 35?
35, I believe. They're just going to get the ball.
That makes it a 15-yard penalty.
See, right now with the Wildcat defense, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what type of pressure that they're going to want to bring on defense here, because with the defense that they're running, they are running what's called a 3-5-3, so they'll slant a little bit depending on what the offensive linemen are going to be showing them, but we're going to see a lot of pressure, which we haven't seen just yet coming from the linebacker position, but here pretty soon we should start to see that coming from the Wildcat defense.
So the Seahawks head coach elects to take the
Is he
penalty.
kicking off again?
and then have the Wildcats kick it again. So what I think that means, it's a 5-yard penalty.
Okay, well, that's kind of interesting.
It's a 5-yard penalty, I believe, and then they have to re-kick it.
I wonder if that's part of that Canadian rules football. So if you come up 5 yards, does that give you a better chance for a run back, hoping that the kids won't run their lanes?
Well, I think the coach might be making it based on the fact that where Kelly kicked it to was about the 35-yard line. So he's hoping if he does that again, that, I think he's trying to play the field position game is what I think.
It's always interesting.
Yeah, so Matt Kelly, he's number 10. He's a 6'2", 190-pound junior, and he didn't do any kicking for the Wildcats last year, so he gets it kicks it right to the second man on the line, and they're going to get the ball in the 45 instead of the 35. So
an extra 10 yards.
Yeah, that's right.
Smart move, but that was also a smart special teams call there too. Just kick a squib kick it on the ground. Do not give these guys a chance to return it.
All right, so Mather's going to bring him back out for the Seahawks' third possession of the football game. He's got trips to the top of your screen, and he's in a pistol formation. He's going to hand the ball off, kicks outside, does the running back, then gets Diaz, knocked out of bounds by Wildcats number 32, Jake Mitten.
Yeah, Jake Mitten did a nice job, but we do have a flag in the backfield. I'm pretty sure that that's probably going to be a holding call, hence why that hole was so big.
Well, what I saw was Carlton Diaz. It's actually Christian Carlton Diaz. He started to go inside and then popped out real quick, and I think when that happened, a little bit of holding.
Right.
Our guys made the adjustment too. So.
Yeah, just go ahead and just grab on and hold on for dear life.
And that is the call. So that means it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So that's going to turn into a 20-yard loss. It's going to be first down and 25 yards to go. It's actually only a 15-yard loss. Put a man in motion, hand the ball off to Colton Diaz again. 52 on the stop for the Wildcats. That's Michael Gomez.
Well, we had talked about the Wildcats running a lot of pressure coming this defensive series, and they actually did. To make that play possible was actually number 40 for the Wildcats. He came through from his inside linebacker position and gave just enough pressure to thwart the running path of the Seahawks running game there and ran him right into a good tackle by the Wildcats.
Mather's going to straight drop back pass. Little screen to Colton Diaz. Stops on a dime, but does not get away. 52, Michael Gomez makes the stop. I think Nathaniel Nunez was in there as well to help make this stop.
Yeah, Nunez, Gomez, these guys right now are doing quite well. They got the Seahawks right where they want them. They got a lot of pressure on this offense to where they have to perform. And one thing that I have seen about this Seahawk quarterback there from Canada, he's not very accurate on his deep ball, so they're going to have to be very, very peculiar and play it safe just to make sure they don't give up the short pass, and that might turn into a big gain.
Third down and 17. Go
Offsides.
on a hard count and
or
think
encroachment.
I think we got encroachment. Going to be a 5-yard penalty. That is the indication by the White Hats. So it's going to be a 5-yard walk-off. So it's going to make it third down and 12 yards to go. Still third and long. Keep them in front of the sticks and you get the football back most likely.
Right. That's what we got to hope for here.
So Mather has one back with him. He's going to straight drop back pass. He's going down the middle of the field, in and out of the hands of number 2, Xavier Cole. Good coverage there by number 28, Gabriel Daggett. And that's going to bring up a fourth down, and with the ball on their side of the field, I think they're going to punt it away.
Yeah, Gabriel Daggett there for the Wildcats, the senior. He actually had nice, good coverage, had enough cushion, but played the ball just enough to where he was able to knock it down and get a pass deflection. That's a great job there by the Wildcats.
So it looks like number 2, Xavier Cole, is going to go back to do the punting duties. I think it's 33 back for the Wildcats. Marcus Arroyola.
We'll get your guys' names right as the season goes.
So the snap is good. The kick is away. He's going to let it bounce. He picks it up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, okay, I was going to say it's a touchback. He touched it. It went into the end zone. He had it. That's all. It should have been an automatic touchback, but they made contact, and that was the end of that. They're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Well, the coach had talked about the special teams being a little bit worrisome for him, and I can tell there is some jitters, so I can tell that is one thing I'm 99% sure they're going to kind of focus on, because I'm noticing the returners, they just don't have their feet and their bodies in the right place to go ahead and receive the ball, and that's something that you typically have to work on every single day. But the hard part is when you're instituting a brand new offense, brand new defense, some things kind of get left by the wayside, and that might be one of them. But I guarantee next week that's going to be cleaned up.
Yeah. Yep. They'll watch the film tomorrow morning, and it'll get fixed. All right. A citizen. I think we have a timeout. Yeah, we do. A timeout on the field. The Seahawks call a timeout, and 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. The Seaquam Seahawks, are leading 7-6 over the Wildcats, and they elect to take a timeout and talk it over.
That's right.
I didn't see what was going on there, but they decided they didn't have the right personnel on there, I think is what happened.
Well, there's that, and then you have the multiple sets that the Wildcats are running with the spread offense here from Coach Marcus Hughes. So one thing that the Canadian team is doing, so on defense, they're running a forefront, but they'll also run multiple sets, and they'll actually disguise their cover 2 and their cover 3. So we'll actually see their strong safety come down and basically be like an extra linebacker to help bring pressure against the Wildcats. So they're going to have to make sure they're going to be able to pick that up, because I sense that that's going to be coming around here, this possession here.
So a Sinison and the Wildcat offense are back out there. Then a shotgun formation, 2 receivers set. They're going deep, looking for number 10. Oh, good defense right there. Who is that? Number 25? 25 for the Seahawks is Rowan Sahota. The intended receiver was number 10, Matt Kelly. That ball was thrown really well, and just defense did their job.
I'm actually really impressed there with Cameron. So it looks like he's got his feet underneath him. He seems to be nice and relaxed back there. He actually delivered a very nice ball, only where his guy could catch it. Just unfortunately, it bounced in and out of his hands.
Same reset as the one before. Handoff to LeKelt. LeKelt breaks the first tackle, drags a few of the Seahawks with him to the 25-yard line. Pick up a 5. It's going to be 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Justin Ing on the stop for the Seahawks.
Yeah, Justin Ing actually came from his safety spot. Like I said, they're going to be coming through and blitzing their strong safety, because they're disguising their cover 2 look there. So to kind of combat that, how you're going to beat your cover 2 look there is you're going to have to run a little bit of some of your trap game there, but also some quick slants, and those will be wide open.
Hard count and a jump by the Seahawks. Going to get an offsides call. Based on where that football's spotted, the mark off of 5 yards is going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a good call there. Kind of, you're in rhythm going on 1, so you want to switch it up a little bit. Go on 2, go on set, go on hut, go on whatever your count may be. So checking in for the offense for the first time tonight for the Wildcats is number 30. That's Ethan. So he's the twin brother of the starting middle linebacker for the Wildcats, Ezra.
I noticed you didn't say the last name.
No, I'm just not going to do it. That's why you make the big penny, Shane.
That would be Ethan DeStrong.
DeStrong, okay.
I'm sorry if I messed it up. Please send me an email, and I'll pronounce it correctly the next time. Oh, look at this. We're going to go under center.
See, we got a timeout here, so we had a Miscommunication.
We have to call a timeout. We didn't have the right personnel on the field.
No, we actually had one too many. So good thing they did not huddle, because that would have been a penalty.
That's right.
So
if you break the huddle with 12, that's a penalty.
That's right. So being a no huddle offense actually worked in our favor on that one. But we had to burn a timeout.
So right after the penalty was marched off, we got a first down. Looked like they sent in some new personnel. They were going to go under center with a 3-back set.
Which is always going to be interesting, huh? I didn't.
They were going to try to catch him off guard with something.
Huh. I'll be interested to see what they run out of that.
Yeah.
So how was your summer there, Shane? Lots of fun stuff?
It seems like it gets shorter and shorter every year. It's
Doesn't
like,
it?
Oh, July's over. It's time to go back to work. So. All right, so the Wildcats come out of the timeout. Looks like they sent the same personnel back in. They did. They're going to go with a T-back formation, and they're going to put a Simpson under center.
That's the old T formation right there.
And they're going to give it to LeKelt. LeKelt's got lots of room. He spins out of one arm tackle, picks up 14 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that was a great run by LeKelt there, and that's just that basic power. We're gonna just load it up. We're gonna line it up, and we're gonna pound it right at you. And that's one of the basic principles of T. I like that.
This time it's going to go to Mitten the other side. He's got lots of running room. Also, he spins out of one tackle. Number 2, Xavier Cole, comes up from his safety position to make the stop, but not before a pickup of 8.
Yeah, number 73 for the Wildcats actually had a nice pull coming from his guard position there, opened up the hole. So what they're doing right now, they're just running right off tackle, a little bit of power football. So they're just lining up and just punching Canada right in the mouth.
They're double tight with 3 backs in the backfield. Here's LeKelt again. He's got plenty of space, squirts through a hole, and then drags 2 tacklers with him for an additional 5 yards. 1st and 10, Wildcats inside the territory of the Seahawks 36-yard line.
Yeah, well, right now the offensive line is doing what they need to do, and on a nice block there from the Wildcats was Nathan Hummel. He's 6'2", 200-pound tight end, and that's what you want to do is if you got a big guy like that, you want to run right behind him, and that's what they're doing.
This time it goes to Mitten. Mitten's got a huge hole right through the middle. He's popped pretty hard right there by number 2, Xavier Cole. Picks up, I'm going to call it, no, it's going to, not quite the mark to get a first down. Picked up like
pretty close,
9 3/4 yards. Oh no, the sticks were wrong. Picked up 9 yards. He's got 1 yard to go. 2nd down. Ball's on the 27-yard line of the Seahawks with 20 seconds and counting remaining in the quarter. And here we go back to the spread. Simpson hands it to LeKelt. LeKelt breaks 1 tackle. He's got nothing but green in front of him. Oh, Turf Monster gets him at the 5, drops at the 4. 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a great job there by the Wildcats. I like the play call. They're just lining right up and going right at Canada and just saying, look, we're going to line up and we're going to run it right down your throat, because that is what a Carver is known for, is punching people right in the gut, and that's what they're doing on that.
So that was the final play of the first quarter. We're going to have to switch ends of the field, take a little timeout, switch ends of the field, and Wildcats were lined up in that T formation in the backfield, so I think they're going to pound it right in those last 4 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well, because they're knocking off 9 yards, 12 yards, 13 yards.
Well, and if I'm the Seahawks, I'm queuing on 45 because he just lost a touchdown because the Turf Monster got him.
Right, exactly. But, hey, with 45 for the Wildcats running the ball, you know, he's our returning, 1,000-yard rusher, but he's basically showing you why he ran for 1,000 yards, because he doesn't hesitate running through the hole. So he picks his cue, he sees the opening, and he jumps right in there and doesn't hesitate whatsoever.
Well, and the impressive thing about for me, Caden LeKelt, is he's only 5'8", 155 pounds, and he sheds tacklers If you try to tackle him with your arm, it's not going to work.
No, it's not.
And he's only a junior.
Which is nice. And he was a sophomore last year,
Yes.
so he's pretty experienced now. But what's also good about his experience is he was one of the leaders in the weight room as well too this year. Because one thing that the Oak Harbor Wildcats have as an athletic program, which Coach Jarrett has brought along since he took over as the athletic director, is they have a full-time strength and conditioning coach. And a lot of these kids are taking advantage of it, and you can see the benefits you get by doing that.
So T formation, Simpson under center. He's going to give it to Mitten. Mitten doesn't have a whole lot of running room. He definitely picked up a yard or two. We'll have to, based on the spot, a whole host of Seahawks were there to make the stop.
Yeah, yes, they were. But unfortunately on that for the Wildcats, number 44, the young tight end there for the Wildcats, he lost his leverage because his pad level was just a little bit too high. So he's going to want to make sure he keeps his butt down, keeps his feet moving, and keeps driving his man forward, especially when you're this close to the goal line.
Going with the T formation again. This time it's straight up the middle with he gets a touchdown right there for Cameron Asinson. And he's the 6', 160-pound junior as well. So their quarterback and both their main running backs are juniors this year. So that's good for the Wildcats. Wildcats get a touchdown. Now they're up 12-7 with 11:17 remaining in the half. I've got a sneaking suspicion that Coach Hughes is going to go for two right here.
Well, he's got to make up that missed extra point there. Sometimes when you miss extra points, you might lose a little bit of confidence in your kicker, but this is actually a good call. You've been running the ball quite well versus Canadian defensive forefront team here, so let's see what they do.
Simpson under center, T formation. He's going to go straight forward with it again all by himself. Is he going to get there? And he does. So Simpson gets in for the two-point conversion, so the Wildcats now lead by a touchdown and the extra point, 14-7.
Yeah, that was a great job there by the Oak Harbor offensive line. The big hog mollies there of the Wildcats. You got Jackson Higman, Michael Gomez, John Leet, Brecken Collins, Nate Nunez, and Nathaniel Hummel over at the tight end H-back. They made that play possible by getting a nice, good push on the offensive line and controlling the line of scrimmage, so well done.
So now it looks like that offense has settled in a little bit. They've thrown the ball a couple times since the interception, but for the most part, they've just been pounding the football right up the middle and just knocking off 5, 7, 9, 12 yards at a time.
Well, and sometimes things never change. Oak Harbor's known for running the ball, so they pounded the ball. But most importantly, it's when you're an offensive coordinator, you got to take advantage of what the defense is giving you. And right now, the Oak Harbor offensive line as a unit is controlling the line of scrimmage. And if you control the line of scrimmage, you can pretty much do whatever you like, and that's what they did.
Well, and as they switched from the back and forth from the T and the spread, you're not sure what's coming as a defense either. And if you can get one of those games going, then it opens up the opportunities for the other half of it. So we got a penalty flag on the kickoff. It's got to be offsides based on where the penalty flag was thrown. So,
yeah, because one of those rule changes is before you can't. You used to be able to start your run process before the ball was kicked, but now you cannot run until the ball is kicked. It's one of those little rule changes just to kind of keep the kids safe and making sure their heads are okay with contact, because when you're running down there with a full head of steam, I mean, you're basically getting into a car crash.
So they're going to back it up 5 yards, and the kicker, Matt Kelly, is going to have to tee it up again. So he's going to be kicking it from the 35-yard line. He's kicking it to Xavier Cole. And another Seahawk. I do not have his number. Really good kick right there by Kelly. Cole takes it at the 9-yard line. He's at the 20, the 25. First contact made at the 17, brought down at the 20, at the 20-yard line by Bennett Anderson. Actually, he got out to the 30-yard line. Check that.
Yeah, Bennett Anderson
return.
actually did a really nice job by maintaining his lane integrity, and that's a hard thing to teach with these kids when you don't have a whole lot of time to rep that in practice. But he did a nice job, broke down, and was able to make the tackle there. So nice job, young man. So it looks like right now the Wildcats are going to be bringing some pressure with number 32 off the left-hand side, Jake Minton.
Hand off to Colton Diaz, I believe, and he's got nowhere to go. Brought down by a host of Wildcats, including number 80, Nathaniel Hummel.
Yeah, Nathaniel Hummel.
Nathan Hummel.
Nathan Hummel made a nice little tackle on there, but what made that play possible was that extra pressure brought by Jake Minton off that corner there. So again, they talk about how are they going to disguise their blitzes, and right now they're being pretty aggressive and making sure that they keep these guys in Wildcat in their territory.
So they got back to their line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the 32-yard line. Mather's going to go under center, it looks like. He's going to spin, hand it off to Colton Diaz, and we got a penalty flag on the play. I'm guessing illegal motion.
Oh, I was going to say it had to be illegal motion. Again,
Canada, or an illegal shift.
That. Yeah. It might be a shift.
Yeah,
shift.
A little shift. So they must – so there's been a few that have been close as well. So maybe they play partial Canadian ruled football with motion. And I don't know.
I think they go back and forth. So, but that's a pretty cool little program they have going on there, you know, because they are being so close to the United States border, being over in British Columbia there. Looks like we declined the penalty.
The White Hats looking this way. Shift, illegal shift on the offense. Penalties declined. Going to go ahead and take the play and bring up a 3rd down. I think that's a pretty good call right there, actually.
Good call.
Only picked up like 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9. I'm going to call it 9. The board says 8.
You have really good eyes, though, Shane. We trust those.
I can't even see the numbers, man. Shotgun formation. There's a little bit of holding right there that didn't get called in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. It looked like his number 4 on the coverage was Dominic Dean. And let me tell you what, number 21 of the Wildcats, Kevin Wepley, was going after that quarterback, and he got drugged to the ground.
Yes, he did get drugged to the ground. That's called good pressure is what that is. So you got Kelt back there, number 45 of the Wildcats, back to receive the punt.
So Xavier Cole is going to kick it away for the Seahawks. Going to kick it to LeKelt, who's standing on his own 20-yard line. And kick is off. It's headed towards the sideline. Bounces, goes out of bounds. I think they're going to mark it at about the 43-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark it out at the 45-yard line where the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. And no penalty flags on the play.
Which is kind of
saw
nice.
One official heading really quickly to the white hat and thought there was a penalty, but there was not. So Wildcats are going to take over on after the punt at their 45-yard line. 1st and 10. They're going to go in a spread formation with 2 receivers to both sides of the screen. They're going to fake the handoff. The Simpson keeps it, but is drugged down. I think it's by number 50. It's 58, actually. Taj Hootie. Could be Judy.
Taj Judy. Yep, Judy. There it is, Judy.
I got to go with Jay Long. He knows.
Exactly. He's all over it.
So it's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 14 yards to go. This time it gets handed off to LeKelt. LeKelt breaks 2 tacklers, gets the first down and then some. He's getting caught from behind, and a penalty flag goes flying in there. I'm going to guess that that's a face mask based on where that penalty came from, because all there was 2 white shirts and LeKelt.
Yeah, that was a great run. Again, what they're doing is they're running behind the right-hand side of the Wildcats. And
I was wrong. There's a block in the back.
Yeah. The old saying is when your running back is that far ahead, if you see the back of a jersey,
don't touch it.
Just let it go.
Just keep running. Don't touch it.
Gotta let it go.
So it picks up a first down. It was a 35-yard scamper. It's going to turn into a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The spot of the foul was the 30 of the Seahawks, so it's going to back them up to the 40, where it's going to be first and 10 anyway, but it takes away the 35-yarder and turns it into a 15-yard gain.
Right. That was a great run, though.
3 receivers in this set, 2 to the top of the screen. Simpson hands it off to LeKelt. LeKelt runs into 0 running room, but makes it a close to 2-yard gain. On the stop was number 19, Justin Eng. We've called his name quite a few times here in the first half.
We have. Yeah, Justin Eng is actually playing a really nice game from his, from his safety spot. He's basically just an extra linebacker bringing that pressure. They're going to have to put a hat on that young man.
Same formation, shotgun.
Ooh.
We got a penalty flag. That's either motion on us or an encroachment, and it is. It's offsides on the defense. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, which is going to make it 2nd down and 4 yards to go.
That was pretty close, because I didn't think he broke the plane on that, but what do I know?
Well, you didn't have the angle.
Good point. I didn't. And it's dark out, so.
3 receivers in this set, 2 in the backfield with Simpson. He's going to fake the handoff, sends a little bubble screen. Completed out to first down yardage. Number 11 is the receiver. That's Luke Golden. As a number 10, Matt Kelly.
Yeah, Matt Kelly there ran a nice bubble screen. Got to keep his feet going. He got pushed back, but they gave him the forward progress, which was just enough for a first down there by the Wildcats.
1st and 10 Wildcats. Ball's now on the 29-yard line of the Seahawks. Hard count. Nobody moves. Looks for an adjustment from the sideline. Handoff straight up the middle to LeKelt. LeKelt dives forward into the ankles of one of his blockers. Gets inside the 25-yard line, stopped by number 73, Dallas Wood. It's to be 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
2nd down and 6 off the Seahawks 25-yard line.
It's LeKelt again. He's met in the backfield, but he still drags that tackler to the line of scrimmage. Picked up maybe a half yard. Stopped by number 19, Justin Eng, who must have been coming on a blitz to get in there from the secondary.
Yeah, he was coming pretty hard on that, so that was a good play, but we just had a little bit of breakdown of the interior lineman of the Wildcats because he was coming so fast. He just wasn't able to get out of his stance fast enough.
3rd down, 5 yards to go for the Wildcats. This time they're going to put the ball in the air to number 80. Got the first down and then some. Got it to the 5-yard line. Number 80 for the Wildcats is Nathan Hummel, 6'2", 200-pound junior. There's a lot of juniors out on the field tonight.
Yes, there is. But, again, so we talk about the pressure coming from the Seahawks from Canada there. If you're going to keep being that aggressive and blitzing, you're going to leave that middle wide open, which is either going to give you the slants or it's going to give you just a quick streak, the quick pass from your tight ends. So that's a great adjustment there by Coach Hughes by recognizing that on that defense, and that's basically taking advantage of what the defense is going to give you.
So we get the right personnel in there. Shotgun formation. Hands the ball off. Is that? No, that's LeKelt. LeKelt gets drugged down from behind by number 11. That's Grant. Corbin Grant with the stop. Picks up 2, gets the ball to the 5-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, that was a good play there. He was actually, LeKelt was actually running really patient behind his behind Michael Gomez, number 52, on the pull, but unfortunately, you know, he just got pushed back just a little bit though. But nice job by being patient and making sure you're maintaining your lane.
LeKelt switches to the right side of Simpson. And it's going to be a pitch to him. Can he get the edge? His arm, they got him by the arm, but he gets tackled out of bounds. Probably going to give him the 5-yard line, which means he got back to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal.
Okay, so we just had number 30 check into the game here. So what's going to be interesting to see is what kind of play do you cook up right here to get into the end zone? Because this is bad. To me, this is, you know, this 4-down territory.
Oh, this is 4-down territory for sure. So they go the T formation. They got Mitten, LeKelt, and Desharong in there. They're going to give it to Mitten. Uh-oh, ball's on the turf. I think Mitten might have got on top of it. No,
Nope.
It's still loose. I think the Wildcats might have got back on top of it, and if they did,
Nope.
No, they did not. The Seahawks recover it on their own 2-yard line, and they're going to take over 1st and 10, and that's a lost opportunity right there for a score for the Wildcats with 5:01 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, that is, you know, those types of penalties, those are the things that will kill you, but this is why you have, you know, your what you call your tune-up games or non-conference games, is to kind of work the kinks out, work the bugs out.
Just a little bit mishandle on the exchange between Simpson and Mitten. So now the Wildcats see what they can do on defense. Maybe they can get a safety. That would be great if they got a safety in the first game. So Mather's going to be in the shotgun formation with Colin Diaz right by his side. He's going to pass the football. Has a man. Oh, great defense right there by number 28, Gabriel Daggett. Gets there just as the football arrives and knocks it loose.
Yeah, Gabriel Daggett there played a nice zone coverage there, was where he needed to be, was able to make good contact on the receiver, didn't get there early for pass interference, got there at the right time, was able to knock the ball down. Well done.
2nd down and 10, ball's resting on the 2-yard line of the Seahawks. Shotgun formation once again. This time he's going to hand it to Colin Diaz, and he's going to get tackled in the end zone. Safety, ladies and gentlemen, for your Wildcat defense.
Yeah, that's the right time to bring the pressure. That's a great job. Those kids need to feel good about that because the defense has been working hard all night, and right there, their hard work just got rewarded with a little bit of a bone.
So now the Wildcats get 2 more points on the board. They're up 16-7, and they're going to receive the football.
Yes, they are. So this is a pretty good first half here for the Wildcats.
And I called it.
Yes, you did. Shane, yes, you did.
All right, so the Wildcats now up 16-7 with 4:50 remaining. Actually, you know what? I don't remember the last time I saw the Wildcats get a safety. I would like to go back in the record books and find that out. That's why I got so excited.
Right. Well, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a while.
So now what happens if you're not familiar with high school football is the Seahawks, who had the safety happen to them, have to free kick the football from their 30-yard line. Nope, sorry, the 20-yard line. And the Wildcats are receiving that free kick, and they will get the football back. That's the reward for getting a safety. 2 points and the ball.
With the potential of very good field position.
Yes. So Colton Diaz is going to do the free kick duties. Back to receive it is LeKelt and Mitten. gets the punt away. Looks like it's going to be Mitten is going to receive it on one hop. He's got a running start at the 40. He's got a lane. He's got one man to beat, and that man did an excellent job of making a tackle at the 43-yard line. That's number 25 of the Seahawks, Robin Sahota.
Yeah, that was a good job. Mitten actually almost broke that. Mr. Mitten over here, he's doing a fine, good job over here making things happen. Looking like he's a seasoned vet out there. And this is really like his first season of extended playing time, because last year he was basically just the kicker last year.
That's right. He got a little mop-up time here and there, but he was the kicker, and he's playing a major role in the offensive scheme.
Yes, he is. And he's looking very nice today.
So Simpson's in the pistol formation. He's got LeKelt behind him. He's going to fake the handoff, roll out to his left.
Nice ball.
Connects with the receiver for a 3-yard gain. The receiver, number 13, Aiden Schofield.
Oh, wait. I lied. I think it's 33. I'm sorry.
33, Marcus Oriola.
I saw a 3 in there, so I'll take responsibility for that blunder.
Yeah, spotters always get the blame.
That's right. That's right. Nice rollout pass, though, by the Wildcats. I like the fact that they're actually moving the pocket for him so he can get out and make some good quick throws.
Again, fake handoff. This time rolls to his right. A little short for the intended receiver. That time it was intended for 13, Aiden Schofield. It's going to be second down and 7 yards to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just wasn't able to have enough strength rolling to his right side on there, but actually the quarterback wasn't set properly. He actually had the wrong leg up as he was throwing that. So that's something I'm sure that the coaches are going to see on film and address and go ahead and clean that up.
Looks like Simpson's also trying to shake off a little bit of a bang up with his right leg. Got an official timeout.
You know, the Wildcats have done a nice job by neutralizing number 11, Corbin Grant of the Seahawks here from Canada, because we have not.
Especially offensively.
Yeah, he hasn't really done jack anything against
No.
us, which is nice.
So Simpson talks to his offensive line, make sure they got the right play in there. Got a 4 receiver set, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Straight drop back, 3-step drops. Got a man, just overthrew him. Number 11, the intended receiver, actually I think it was 10, Matt Kelly.
Yeah, that was actually a nice route there by the Wildcat receiver, Matt Kelly. Matt Kelly, he's 6'2", 190 pounds. You almost have to throw it up to a spot where he can go get it. That was just a little bit far out of his length there.
So 30, Ethan DeCharong comes into the ball game, actually, and he comes back out because the Wildcats elect to call a timeout with 3:58 remaining in the half. The Wildcats will only have 1 timeout remaining, and Seaquam has 2 timeouts remaining in this half.
So that's a good, smart timeout here. You got a 4th down. You're in 4-down territory.
I think they're going to punt it.
I think they're going for it.
Well, Simpson's also their punter.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it, though. I could be wrong. I'd bet you a penny, but I already think I owe you like 6 pennies over the years.
Well, double or nothing. It may almost be $1.
It might be. It might be. In pennies, no less.
I
In
know.
pennies.
Yep, they're going to punt it, man. Good thing you didn't bet me.
See, I'd have lost that money real fast.
It was 4th down and 7, so they decided to go with the field position game with 3:58 remaining in the half.
Well, that seems pretty smart because on the offensive side of the ball for the Seahawks, they just can't seem to get anything going. So that's a good call there.
So the punt's away. Pretty good one. Lands and bounce. Oh, good job right there by the Wildcats. Oh, he carried it into the end zone, though.
No, you got to, throw it out.
Throw it back, right?
You got to throw it out. But, again, that goes back to just working the special teams, and I'm sure that's going to be something that the Wildcats are going to clean up.
So he had the right idea where he got his hands on the football, and I think he I think he believed that he had his feet not inside the end zone and then carried it in, but maybe he was already touching the end zone.
I think he was probably touching the line on that.
Because if you touch the football from the punt, you can't advance it, so it would be dead right there.
Right, so maybe he touched it with his foot inbounds, yeah.
So. All right, so Mather's going to bring the Seahawks to the line of scrimmage. He's going to do an empty set this time with 3 receivers in the set, 2 to the bottom and 1 to the top, and we got a timeout by the Seahawks.
Well, it looks like their personnel wasn't what it needed to be on that, because that was actually a new formation that we have not seen tonight with the 5 wide on that. Typically with 5 wide, you got a lot of different moving, working parts on that, and it looked like they had their tight end kind of in tight a little bit on that, so maybe they were confused if he's supposed to stay in block or was he going to be running a little kick out route of some sort.
Well, and the other thing that I'm just noticing, because with the timeouts, you get a little time to look around at different things. There aren't very many extra players over there that have on a white uniform.
No, there's not.
There's like 11.
Yeah, there's not very many.
So they got a couple backups. So coming out of the timeout, it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Seahawks. They have the ball on their own 20-yard line, and they're trailing the Wildcats by a score of 16-7 if you're just joining us. Similar formation, but this time they got a back in the backfield with Mather. He's going to stay right where he is in a drop back pass. He connects with his receiver to the top of the screen. On the coverage for the Wildcats was number 3, Chris Hoppick, and number 40, Ezra DeStrong, on the stop.
Yeah, that was a good job there by the Wildcat defense by not being fooled by that, playing good tight coverage and not giving up the big play.
Pickup of 8. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. This time they're going to put 4 receivers wide, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. He's going to pass complete to Corbin Grant. Corbin Grant has the 1st down, stopped by number 26, Brendan Anderson, and number 20, Bennett Anderson.
Yeah, so those guys right there did a nice, good job there on the defensive side. That's probably the first time Grant has caught the ball tonight, so he's able to break free and get some first and 10 yardage there.
Mather in the shotgun again. Gonna hand it off this time. The running back has nowhere to go. Met immediately by Gabriel Daggett. Does drag some tacklers forward for a pickup of 2. I think that was Marcus Sukharokov. Justin Ing, number 19. I thought it was 10, but it was 19.
19?
Okay.
Well, we've been calling that young man's name a lot tonight.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, though, Gabriel Daggett made a nice, good form tackle on the outside. That's an open field tackle, and those are some of the hardest tackles to make in football, and he did a very nice job.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Drop back pass, pressure coming. That ball's short and to the right. Incomplete pass, no penalties on the play. Number 20, Bennett Anderson on the coverage for the intended receiver was number 2, Xavier Cole.
Yeah, number 20 there for the Wildcats, Bennett Anderson. He's 5'6", and he is 130 pounds, and he's a sophomore. And that young man had good tight coverage, was able to get out of his back pedal fast enough, opened up his hips right on time, and was in perfect coverage position. That was a great defensive play by that young sophomore.
So that brings up a 3rd down and 8. Ball's on the 39. Getting everybody in the right spot. They get set. Mather takes the pass, the snap, drop back pass. That ball is high, intended for number 7, Brandon Johnson. On the coverage was number 3, Chris Hoppick.
Well, and it seems like the pressure came with the Wildcats, number 52, Michael Gomez, and number 40, Ezra. By bringing your middle linebacker rush right up the gut there, you're going to force a high error throw by the Canadian quarterback, and that's exactly what they did right there. So that's a great, great call by the Oak Harbor staff to bring pressure at the right time.
So now we've got a 4th down and 8 yards to go. Ball's on the 39-yard line. They're going to send Xavier Cole back to punt it. That's LeKelt back to receive it for your Wildcats. The punt is away. They kick it away from him.
I'd kick it away from him too.
It's about the 32-yard line and backs up to the 34-yard line where they touch it dead, and the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10. They actually touch it at the 35-yard line, and the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10.
Now here's one fun thing that we get to witness right now with the Oak Harbor Wildcat offense. That's this new spread attack, multiple attack set, we'll say here, is they get to run their 2-minute offense, and they have to run it crisp, clean, and nice and tight. So this is probably where they have 3 or 4 calls automatically made. They'll probably yell out a color, so they all line up and they already know what they're going to run.
4 receivers in the set, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. With the Simpson in the backfield is LeKelt. They're going to drop back pass. He's got some time. He's looking deep. He's got 13. Oh, he threw it short in and out of the hands of Corbin Grant. Intended receiver was number 13 for the Wildcats, and that was Aiden Schofield.
I tell you what, the Oak Harbor Wildcat quarterback actually just took a little bit of a shot. He's all right on that, but the wheel concept that was run on that route there, that was actually a great call and a great play. So right now we're going to have a switch at quarterback. We got number 14 coming in again, Cato White.
So Cato White's a 5'9", 135-pound sophomore. I think Asinson was sent off by the White Hat after that hit.
Yeah, he took a pretty big shot there, so it's good that he was able to get up.
So they're in the shotgun. White's going to throw it. Looking for a man, Schofield. Oh, in and out of his hands. On the coverage was Corbin Grant.
Actually, that's not a very bad ball to be thrown when you've been sitting for the last 2 quarters. So you're probably a little bit cold, but that was a good ball.
He didn't even get to warm up.
No, just get in there and chuck it.
Man. 20 yards. Zing.
I like it. I like the aggressiveness here on offense.
So Trainer Trev is talking with Asinson. So White is still in there. He's in the shotgun. Same formation. 3rd down and 10. This time they hand it to LeKelt. LeKelt breaks out of one arm tackle, picks up 3 or 4, tackled by number 24, Kiran Pama.
So on that play call there, so that was actually an RPO, it's a run pass option. So he was going to have the option to pull that out if he saw that is on the skinny post that was coming over the corner there, if that was going to be open or not, but it was covered. So he just let the running back take it and run with it.
So I think the Wildcats elect to take their last time out of the half with 1:11 remaining because the Simpsons also their punter.
Right.
And it's 4th down and 7. And so buys them a little bit more time to see if they can get a Simpson back in there. I didn't see him. He's still working on now his shoulder pads with Trainer Trev. So I don't know if it's an injury issue anymore, but now more of an equipment issue.
You can see Coach out there. He's like, where is he? Where's my punter? Where's my punter? You just get out there. You kick it.
So they're going to, so now they're going to go with number 10 back to do the punting.
Matt
Kelly. Something else they may not have been worked on is who's the backup punter.
Right. Well, typically you hope you never have to go to your backup punter. But if you do, let's hope he kicks it at least 15 yards.
So back to receive it for the Seahawks is Xavier Cole.
Oh, nice
he got
kick.
a nice punt away. Oh, punted it way past Cole.
Well.
And out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Well,
so he kicked it from his own 38. That's a 50-yard punt.
Oh, that's a fantastic punt. Frankly, if that's your backup punter, that might be your number one punter.
I was going to say, save your quarterback some heartbreak.
Yeah, especially if he's going to keep kicking like that. But that's going to put, the Canadian team in bad field position, and their offense has not been clicking all day with a minute and 2 seconds left. So hopefully right now the defense is probably going to lay off and not be as aggressive with their blitz packages, and they're probably going to run a little bit more zone coverage just to make sure they don't give up the big play.
So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I estimated it was a 50-yard punt. Jay Long indicated it was a 53-yard punt.
53.
So I want to make sure I get that out there right. Kelly punted it 53 yards. So Colin Diaz with this handoff straight up the middle. I think he got to the 10-yard line, and he was tackled by Jake Mitten, and a few of his buddies were there too. And we've got an injury now on the field for the Seahawks.
Well, yeah, you never want to see injuries, of course, but that's always part of the game of football. But Mitten right there, so what they did is they actually laid off of the inside, in their right side, inside backer blitzes there, and they just bought pressure with Jake Mitten coming off the left end spot there. And all night, that's been a good spot for them to bring the pressures off that side because they just cannot stop that pressure coming from there. So coming up at halftime, we're going to be doing a nice little interview here with Alicia Ashburn. She's the head coach of the Wildcat fast pitch softball team. This was her first year. So we'll talk about how the year went for her and what the outlook looks like for this upcoming year for fast pitch softball. So stay tuned.
Also at halftime, there's going to be the Wildcat marching band. I'm sure we'll get a little routine from the cheerleaders.
Oh, well, there you go.
So we got a big halftime.
We do have a big halftime. It's a big deal today.
So I'm not sure what the injury is. Can't see the number on the jersey of the young man who's down. Trainer Trev ran out there as well, so we're going to take some cautions. We also always, as long as there hasn't been another call in the community, there's always an EMT on site in case of a really serious injury that needs to be taken care of really quickly. And always in high school football, you'll see the sportsmanship from both sides of the field. Immediately, players will take a knee. And then once the player is up again, they get a nice round of applause and everybody stands back up. Luckily, he's going off under his own power. Limping a little bit, but under his own power, and I still cannot make out that number.
I can't either, yeah. Like number 80-something.
That's it, man. I got to bring the binoculars.
I think we might have to.
Because you're getting old.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. You are getting old, too, here. As long as they don't have bifocals, I think we'll be all right.
All right, so we're going to resume now. The clock's running under a minute to go. 2nd down and 9. Ball's resting on the 10. Mather's under center. They hand the ball off to the back. I think that's Eng. Eng gets it to the 15. Brought down at the 17 by number 40. Gabriel Daggett also there. And number 40, Ezra Dishrong.
See, I'm glad you said it right. That's where you make the big bucks.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. 9 seconds remaining. They might get this play off, or they might just elect to say, hey, we're going into halftime.
Probably
which
a
is
smart
what
thing
they're
to
going to do. The clock's about to wind down, and now it has. The Wildcats lead by a score of 16-7. So, Jerry, if you're Coach Marcus Hughes going into halftime, I think you got to be pretty happy with your guys. But there's some adjustments that need to be made.
There is, yeah. Probably one of the biggest adjustments that's going to have to be made is making sure that Cameron, their quarterback, he has to hit his spots when he decides to throw the ball further than 10 yards. So he's going to want to make sure he sets his feet and makes a good throw because he's got the arm strength to do it. He just needs to trust his line just a little bit more so he can deliver a good pass.
And though it started off really rocky,
yeah.
2 turnovers in your first 2 possessions.
Yeah.
They turned it around, so you got to build
really
on that.
They really did, and that just shows the perseverance there of the Wildcats of not giving up and keeping their head down. So they believed and they kept going after it, and they made a nice big improvement with the lead of with the score of 16-7.
Well, and other than the little bit of the score that they gave up, but it was actually after the second turnover, the really short field, the Wildcats have done a really good job on defense too, including getting a safety here in the first game, keeping their offense with the opportunity to be up at this time in the game. So both sides of the ball doing well.
Yes.
But improvement needs to be made, which is exactly what Coach thought he would see from his team.
Right.
They got to get better every week. They got to stay healthy, and they got to compete. And they've been competing tonight. So.
Yes, they've really been competing really hard tonight, and there's really not too much that those guys really need to feel bad about. But their running game is looking really good. Their offensive line is doing awesome because they are controlling the line of scrimmage from first down all the way down to the fourth down if they need it, and they keep on going. And they're not doing a whole bunch of substituting either. So that tells me that these guys are in really good shape as well.
Well, we're going to find that out in the second half.
Yes, we are.
So Jerry and I are going to step away just for a bit, let you enjoy the halftime show from the marching band. As soon as the marching band is done or whatever else is going to happen on the field, we'll come back with an interview that Jerry's going to do with the new head softball coach for the Wildcats. And so we'll see you on the other side. Jerry will see you in just a minute.
This year's show features music from Stephen Sondheim's award-winning musical, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. The music and marching of tonight's show was arranged and designed by Brandon C. Nelson. Choreography by Renee Giuliano, Nikki Gibson, and Trevor Cross. Drum majors, Keely Partridge and Cheyenne Winchester. Is your band ready? Oak Harbor High School Wildcat Show Band. You may take the field in halftime performance. Show Band. The Wildcats Show Band is under the direction of Brandon Nelson. Vicki Gibson is our assistant marching band coach. Color coaching by Renee.
All right, so this is Jerry Oliver here. I'm with the head coach of the Oak Harbor Wildcat fast pitch program, Alicia Ashburn. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming up. So tell us about the first year of coming aboard of coaching the high school softball team. What were some of the challenges you had to overcome, and how did the season end up overall for you?
Yeah, being a part of the Wildcat family has definitely been a great opportunity for me. Everybody's really welcoming, and the girls are incredible on the team. So I had a great time for my first season getting to know everybody and working with the athletic program here. And I think one of the challenges for us was we're quite a young team. So we had some pretty good upperclassmen leadership last year and graduated quite a few. So it's an exciting challenge to have a bunch of young kids kind of grow up and become leaders in a program that has really a lot that we can prove for ourselves moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, talk to us a little bit about some of the goals you have set for the program. So I know you took over a program that hasn't really been known for having, per se, a lot of success in the win column. They had more success in the loss column. So how do you kind of fix that type of, say, culture, per se, and bring it to a more winning, prestigious program?
Absolutely, yeah. Coming in my first year last year, really wanted to focus on positive participation, just getting a lot of kids out who wanted to be a part of maybe something new, something different, something exciting, and then really setting a new tone for that culture where we are focused on improving ourselves within our team and then doing all the right little things to lead to bigger successes when we see that in the game, which will hopefully also translate over into that win column for us. And then this year, we're really focused on upping our competition. That's what I want our kids to focus on. And just, we got the participation, we have kids excited, we have a lot of interest, and now we need to do something with that. So I'm really excited for the commitment that these young girls are showing to the program and wanting to better themselves, which will ultimately better our program.
So basically, so you set a goal for your first year to have good participation, have good numbers, so you had that. So you met that goal. So now next year's goal is to kind of up the competition and kind of get the girls competing against one another and making sure that they understand that their success is the team success.
Absolutely, yes. It's such a unique sport with softball and baseball that it's an individualized team sport. So as the individuals keep pushing themselves and pushing the person next to them or behind them in their position, that's just going to up the level of competition within our own program, which will let us be able to compete at a higher level with other talented programs that we have in our conference.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we actually, you know, in the program, I thought, you know, your program actually competed very well versus a lot of some of the top, per se, the top programs in our classification here for Wesco. And quite frankly, I think there was a lot of times where it's like, oh, whoa, that looks like a really good softball team. So it's in there. So I think you're doing a really good job down there, and I think you've been a great hire. You've been a very positive influence on the girls, but most importantly, I've also noticed that you've also reached out to some of the other younger girls too. That you teach over at the middle school, right?
I do, 7th grade English.
Yeah, so I know that you've been talking to some of those girls to try and get them to come out and compete and play softball as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's really exciting to see the younger generation of kids just love a game that can do so much for them, and letting them start seeing that opportunity to learn and grow and compete at a young age with a sport that can be so fun for them and really benefit them in their whole lives. The younger they can start that, the better. And it's been really great trying to become a part of this community and see where that is, where I can affect not just the kids when they get to high school, but when they start out at the middle school and even at the elementary schools, when they're able to start figuring out, you know, hey, I can do something and be a part of a team and be a part of something bigger than myself. So I'm really excited for that to continue to grow on our island.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And just kind of bringing awareness to the sport of softball is a great thing. And you know, and it's such an awesome, cool sport for the kids to have and be able to play there, because fast pitch it's a great game. It's almost better than football. Almost.
We'll talk a different story in spring, hopefully.
Yeah. And well, in spring it's always going to be better than football.
Yeah, no, softball's so unique in the sense that this is truly a game of failure. So the lessons that the kids can learn about themselves and about life is just incredible and really hard to match in any other aspect. So you know, going 3 for 10, I tell the kids you're probably going to be starting because that's a pretty good batting average.
That is a really good batting average. I probably would go like 0 for 10, but we won't talk about my batting skills because that's just horrible. So before we end, tell me, what do you think was your biggest team success last year?
Oh, wow. Great question. You know, it's really unique coming into a community where I was not a part of this before I got hired in. So I really didn't know what to expect. Gosh, if I had to pick, I think for me, from what I've heard from the past, it was really powerful to me to watch these kids start to truly believe in themselves and in each other, in the sense that, yeah, their record in the past might have been something we didn't really want to talk about, but now, even when we're losing in better ways. And so kind of seeing that light bulb click for the kids this first year out when I'm asking them to do things they've never done before or do things in a different way that seems kind of crazy to them. I love seeing that moment when they're getting that confidence and they're starting to support each other and just think, you know what, I deserve to be out here. I can compete with anyone. And so I'm really excited to see that like aha moment for them this first year that I was with them translate over into this next year where we'll start to see those tangible outcomes from that confidence.
Excellent, I like that. Okay, and with that, so everybody, this is the head coach of the Oak Harbor softball team, Alicia Ashburn. Thank you very much for coming aboard.
Of course, my pleasure.
All right, thank you very much, and have a good rest of the night.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back from halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the entertainment and the interview with the head coach of the softball team. I'm sorry, help me, name.
Oh, Alicia Ashburn,
Alicia
sorry.
Ashburn, thank you. Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Keys for success for the Wildcats. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, on the defensive side of the ball, they're just going to have to make sure that they just are maintaining what they're doing, so not giving up the big play. And right now the Wildcats have done a very nice job of not doing that. So they're keeping the ball in front of them, and they're not playing from behind. So I think as long as they continue to do that and continue to get the pressure up front, I think the Wildcats should be just fine defensively.
And I think that probably Coach Hughes, after talking with him yesterday, knowing that Corbin Grant, the wide receiver, and then the running back Diaz and their quarterback Mather, having them sort of bottled up a little bit, he's probably pretty happy with his defensive unit right now.
Well, right. Well, and the defense has been playing very well, you know, and I had a chance to speak with the defensive coordinator, Tony Maggio. So he's actually done a really good job making sure these kids are prepared, but he's calling a really nice game. He's bringing the pressure when the pressure needs to be brought, and he seems to be bringing it just at the right time.
How about on the offensive side of the ball? Let's go to the other side. They had some miscues in the first half, got them figured out, put it back in place, built some momentum. What do you think they need to do adjustment-wise to be ready for this second half?
Well, I think they need to get a little bit more cushion, and honestly, what they did to get that cushion was by running just plain power football. So they ran a lot of trap, and they ran a lot of inside zone, and that right there actually did them quite well. So I would hope they probably stick with that for the next half a quarter, and then they can start working on their passing game and their pass progressions for the quarterback reads.
So the Wildcats are going to be doing the kickoff to go into the second half. Matt Kelly's going to kick it away. He's going to kick it back there to number 2, Xavier Cole, and 21 is back out there. That's Kason Randawa. Randaha, according to Jay Long.
I like that.
So Kelly's got it teed up on the 40. He's getting ready to head towards it and put his foot into it. He does that, and he got a good one off. It's going to hit at the tube. Ooh, I think he touched it, but
I thought he touched it too.
Maybe not. So it goes in the end zone for a touchback. They're going to bring it out to the 20, where the Seahawks will start the second half. First down and 10.
Well, maybe we just decided to give him a little bit of a grace, I guess. Did you catch the grace
Well, the
comment?
White Hat was a lot
grace?
closer, a little closer than we were. So
Well, the White
and
Hats.
maybe it doesn't matter.
The White Hats are always wrong in my book.
And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'd have to read the rule book again.
Yeah. Yeah, but
All
if,
right.
but if you touch it and it rolls, that's live.
I think that's live.
That's a
do
live
too.
ball.
So new formation under center is Mather. Hands it off to, that's Ing. Ing's got nowhere to go. Nowhere. That's 52 on the stop. Michael Gomez had a little help from a couple buddies, including Dominic Dean.
Yeah, so we seem to be calling these guys' names just a lot there, but number 52 for the Wildcat, Michael Gomez, he's 5'10", 195-pound middle linebacker, the senior. Saw that hole opened up, and he did his job of what a linebacker's supposed to do, run in there and fill it.
Mather, one-step drop, has a man. I think that's going to be a penalty, and I'm right. It comes from the back judge.
May have gotten there just a little bit early.
Yep, I think so. A pass intended for Dylan Davidson. And was it, I think it was 28 on the coverage, am I right?
Yes,
was
sir.
it Brendan Anderson? No, Gabriel Daggett.
Yeah, just got a little bit excited to kind of get there on the coverage spot, but that's going to happen when you're playing good, tight coverage. So, but for the most part, number 28 for the Wildcats there, Gabriel Daggett, he's been playing a nice coverage game all night, so we can give him one, I guess.
So it's a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It's going to put, okay, check that. It's 15-yard penalty. Puts him at the 35-yard line. First and 10. So Mather's going to stay under center. He hands the ball off to Ing. There's no running room for Ing.
Nope. Good
tackle
pressure.
by 73. Cameron Hopcook. And 20, Bennett Anderson also there.
Yeah, Bennett Anderson, number 20, actually made that play happen. Coming from his strong safety position there, he came up, was able to break down and actually seal that edge so they couldn't break the ball to the outside. So he actually forced that running play to the inside to where his help was. So that was a good job by that young man there. Only a sophomore.
And there was no gain on the play, so it's second down and 10. Carlson Diaz on the carry. He does get a couple of yards. Got a stop there by 21, Kelvin Wepley. But he got a penalty flag in the backfield. I'm going to call it holding.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Shane. I might have to agree with you on that one.
Oh, nope. It's an illegal shift.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe
So
I shouldn't have agreed with you on
So
that one.
they picked up 2 yards. They may decline this one, too, because
I wouldn't want to give him an extra down.
so it's either leave the ball with a 2-yard gain or back them up 5 yards and be second down and 15. I think I'd take 3rd and 8. And the White Hat continues to inform the head coach of the Seahawks, which I can't tell you his name because we don't have it.
Do we not have his name
We
on the
do
back?
not. No, unless it's, no, we got nothing.
We'll call him the Seahawk dude.
Yeah. Explaining the procedure or the legal shift call. And we're
Well, you know, and that's interesting that he's got to explain the rules to him, because I had asked the head coach, I think his name is Kevin, actually, as it's coming
Coach
back
Kevin.
to me. We'll call him Coach Kevin. It's you know, how do you prepare for the different types of rule changes that comes along with switching between Canadian rules football, which is, you know, 12-man, you get all kinds of shifts and motions and wider fields, to American-style football.
So Wildcats elect to decline the penalty. They got a 3rd down and 8 that they're defending here against the Seahawks. Mather is going to be in the shotgun this time, right in the line of the pole, so I can't see him. He's going to drop back and pass. Looks for a receiver to his right, finds one on a little curl route. Received to number 7, Brandon Johnson. On the coverage with 26, Brendan Anderson.
Yeah, Brendan Anderson, that was good coverage. That's just a good play call there by the Seahawks of Canada. Went a little 8-yard curl, 9-yard curl, see what happens, break it up for some first down yardage.
Now he's going to go under center as Mather. He's going to hand the ball off. That's Ing. This time Ing does have a little bit of space to run. Gets it to the 45-yard line and into Wildcat territory. 32, Jake Mitten, one of the Wildcats that got in there to make the stop.
Yeah, but what we're seeing right now is, for the first time all night, the Seahawks offensive line is now controlling the line of scrimmage, and now they're kind of doing what they want to do against our Wildcat 4 here.
So Mather under center. He's going to hand it off again to Ing. Ing gets wrapped up
Nice
right
play.
at the line of scrimmage, dove forward for 2. Number 52, that's Michael Gomez on the stop. It's going to leave a 3rd down and 3 yards to go, and the ball's on the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Gomez right now he seems to be settling in to his linebacker position, and he's actually reading the ball quite well, and that's what you really want to see from that young man. Because being a middle linebacker, you know, you're basically you're the quarterback of the defense.
You are. So I'm going to check that. It's at the 43-yard line, 3rd down and 3. Shotgun formation, going to drop back and pass, looking in the direction, in and out of the hands, intercepted by the Wildcats. It's at the 50, brought down at the 48-yard line, interception for the Wildcats. I did not yet catch the number. I'm still looking. 6. Number 6, Dominic Dean with the interception. Great job of tip drill right there. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 7, Brandon Johnson, into the waiting arms of Dominic Dean.
Yeah, that was a
17-yard return.
Great, right place at the right time for Mr. Dominic Dean there. The young man, he's 5'6", 130-pound DB junior. So he's at the right place, right time. Now, right now, the Wildcats are going to have to take advantage of that turnover.
So it's White still in there at the quarterback position. Hands it off to LeKelt. LeKelt goes down. And we may have an injured Wildcat on the field.
That's LeKelt.
And that would be LeKelt that's holding his leg. And that would not be keeping ourselves healthy if LeKelt goes down right there. It's probably something with the knee. And with White still in there, that means something's going on with the Simpson too.
Yeah, you don't want to see your number 1 QB and your number 1 running back go down in the same game.
Now, Simpson is on the sideline on a knee in full pads with his helmet, so maybe they're just giving White a little bit of a look-see here in the opening game of the 1920 season.
Well, you definitely hope LeKelt's going to be all right, so hopefully we want to see him move. And
so I think they actually are.
Well, it looked like a lineman actually rolled up onto his right knee, so hopefully it's just hyperextended.
I can't see exactly what Trainer Trev is doing, but it could be a cramp too, based on.
That's what you want to hope for. So Shane, so you did a new job this year, or was that last year?
No, I've been in the job for 5 years. This is the start of my 5th year, man.
That's what I thought.
So.
Just want to make sure. 'Cause I still do the same job too. So.
Yeah. So they can't see anything because of the angle that we have right here. I'm even trying to catch one from one of the cameras of Wildcat TV. He is up under his own power. I think it might have been an ankle. Could have been a knee, but he is walking off under his own power, so hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. That's great news right there.
Don't think we'll see him again tonight, even if he is okay, because he's not going to take that chance probably with one of your best running backs on the team. So White is still out there under quarterback. It's Cato White. To his left is Jake Mitten. And Mitten's going to get the carry. He's got some running room, does a little picking for some, gets out close to the 40-yard line. I think they're going to mark it just shy of the 40, where it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Steph Marinkovic on the stop.
You know, I just pointed that name out just to make you say it, Shane.
So is he even on the field?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, good. Thanks. So White's in the shotgun. Checks the sideline for a change of play. They go to the pistol formation. Mitten behind White. White's going to keep it. Lefty.
Nice.
He gets rid of the
job.
football. Does not give up the down. Gets hit pretty hard, but bounces up because pressure was a-coming, and it was coming quick.
Yes, it was. But I tell you what, one thing that he did there, he looked fantastic, awesome, and unbelievable. He, like you said, he didn't give up the down. He got rid of the ball, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you don't have a route there or an open receiver, just throw it away.
So 4th down and 2 yards to go, and Simpson is back in. And they aren't punting. They're going for it.
You know, it's a manageable 4th down situation here.
Going to roll out to his right, looking for a receiver, finds one. That's his big tight end, number 44, completed to Nolan Bing. 1st down, Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a great call there on the rollout. Move the pocket for the quarterback and throw the ball on the run there. Now, one thing that Coach Marcus Hughes, told me tonight is sometimes he feels that the tight end is one of the most underutilized positions in football, and he says that's one thing he is going to take advantage of with his offense and his tight ends is making sure he gets them more involved.
So 1st and 10, ball's now resting on the 33-yard line of the Seahawks. Simpson takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Mitten. He's got a man in front of him, and he busts it out close to 1st down yardage, depending on the spot. He got upended in the secondary.
I tell
by
you what.
Number 33, I think, Steven Marinkovic.
See, I'm so glad you got to say Marinkovic because I ain't saying it. But I tell you what, Jake Mitten there, he's a really patient running. He's a patient runner right now. He's following his blocks. He's not bursting through the line, running crazy. He's taken what his offensive line has given him, and that's just fantastic.
Mitten
Look at
again.
that. Look at that.
Founds a hole, bounces it outside. He's going to get another 1st down. Ball's stripped out, but it goes out of bounds. And the Wildcats are going to maintain.
What? It rolled out of bounds.
Oh, no.
That went out of bounds.
So they mark it as a fumble recovered by the Seahawks at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10. No instant replay for us to take a look at.
That's too bad because that ball rolled out of bounds.
It looked like it rolled out of bounds from my vantage point too, but that's the 4th turnover now of the football game. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles for the Wildcats. They were making good, steady progress, and now they're on defense again, but it's deep in Seahawks territory, so hopefully the defense can keep them down here.
Well, the defense is getting a lot of reps here, but what I'm also noticing, we don't have a lot of two-way players on offense and D, so that's pretty good. So hopefully we don't have to worry too much about their staminas.
Drop back pass for Mather, going deep. Ball's thrown short. Great defense. No, that was a football. Great defense right there by number 26, Brendan Anderson. I thought I saw a penalty flag come flying in, but the football that the Seahawks are using, it's got a little yellow to it. That's what I saw dancing around.
Well, we just want to make sure these guys are in solid form tonight with their flags.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Ball's resting on the 8-yard line. Mather sends 2 receivers to the top of the screen. He's got 2 at the bottom, and he's got Ing to his left. Sends Cole in motion, hands it to him. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose yards. The Wildcats just bottle that up. Xavier Cole had nowhere to go, and I think 40 for the Wildcats. Ezra Disharong made that tackle.
Yeah, that was a good play by Ezra. His eyes are opening, and he's just playing instinctful football right now, and that's what you need to do when you're a linebacker. Just be instinctful. The offensive linemen are going to tell you what they're doing and where the ball's coming. You just got to see where the hole's opening up and just run right in there.
It's a loss of 5 yards on the play, so it's 3rd down and 15. Now the ball's on the 3.
Oh.
Wepley got a little anxious there, wanted to get going after the quarterback on a hard count. They're going to get those 5 yards back, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
You know, we were back in that safety zone.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it, but I didn't want to.
Didn't want to jinx it?
Yeah. Still could happen right here if they drop back and pass, because it's 3rd down and 10. Could get some pressure on that quarterback and potentially get that safety again. So formation, trying to get it figured out. They got 4 guys trying to figure out where to go. They got 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. And this time Ing's going to go to the right of Mather. Going to drop back pass. Here comes the pressure. Got away with the football. Intercepted by the Wildcats. That's number 26, Brendan Anderson. He's going the wrong way.
That's a great
Finally
play.
gets tackled at the 20, where about the place where he intercepted it. Gave up a little yards and got back to where he caught it. Great job. Interception, 26, Brendan Anderson.
I tell you what, that was a great job there by Brendan Anderson. He's at the right place at the right time, but he actually played all football. That quarterback locked onto that receiver, didn't even try and look him off. But if you're going to lock onto your guy like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to throw a pick in America.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Ball's on the 19-yard line of the Seahawks. Simpson in the shotgun. He hands the ball off. That's a new back there. That's not Mitten. Who is that? 36? 26, Brendan Anderson. All right, gets the pick off, gets the handoff.
Well, look at that. Get rewarded. You pick the ball off. Let's carry the ball here for 5 yards.
So working some new personnel into that backfield is Coach Hughes.
Well, unfortunately, if you lose your number 1 back to a little bit of a leg injury, it looks to be okay on the sideline. Well, you can get some of your other players in and see what they have as well, too, on Friday night.
Anderson with the football again. He's brought down. Oh, we got a penalty flag going. We got a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah,
got a little tussle going there between one of the Wildcats and one of the. Justin Ing made the stop for the Seahawks. It's number 52, Michael Gomez.
Yep.
And we got personal fouls on both teams. There's going to be offsetting penalties. So there's not going to be any yardage changed, but might be a couple warnings issued right there as well.
There might be some warnings issued because those 2 have been getting after it all night. And, you know, with football, it's the one sport we teach kids, hey, you got to be crazy for like 10 seconds, and then when you hear the whistle, you can't be crazy anymore.
You got to stop.
So sometimes, you know, it's a little hard to find that stop button, but you always got to keep your head and keep your composure in the game.
So now it's 3rd down and 5. Ball's on the 14-yard line. Simpson's going to roll to his left. Got good coverage. Got a man in the corner, and that might have incomplete pass, and then a penalty flag comes in late. in the backfield.
So this is a makeup call right here.
In the backfield comes a flag late. Incomplete pass. We're going to have to see what the call is. Personal foul. Chop block on the defense.
Look at that.
That's a half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
That's a biggie right there. You know, right now, see, if these kids are out here trying to hit knees and chop legs and all that nonsense, you know, you got to squash that up front
Well,
before
that's
that gets
why
out
the
of
flag
control.
came.
Yeah,
Get
that's
that
smart.
to stop. So that's going to march it half the distance to the goal line from the 14. So it should put it at the 7. Jay Long confirmed that for me. First and goal, 4:06 remaining in the third. A Simpson with Anderson in the backfield to his right. He's going to roll to his right, steps up, makes an excellent pass to his tight end into the end zone, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Wildcats. Big 44. Nolan Bing, touchdown.
Nolan Dean, number 44 for the Oak Harbor Wildcats. 5'8", and he's 6'2",
220.
He's 6'2", 220-pound sophomore tight end. That's a big boy right there. That's a very big boy.
He can block and he can catch.
Yes, he
He's
can.
got 2 touchdowns tonight.
I mean, do you really want to get in front of that when he's bowling down for the end zone?
Not if I'm the 5'2" guy that was trying to tackle him.
I'm going to have to make a business decision and just get back to you next week.
So the Wildcats score a touchdown with 3:59 remaining in the third quarter. They lead 22-7 with the extra point coming. And it appears that they're going to kick it. So 21 Wepley is going to do the duties of the holding. And I think that's Kelly back there. It is Kelly that's back there to do the kicking. Snap and the hold are good. The kick is up, and it clears the upright just barely. So a score of 23-7. Wildcats lead, but it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it goes through the uprights.
As long as it goes through, that's it.
So some concern maybe for the Wildcats in terms of their backfield, but Anderson did a good job on that drive. But your 2 leading rushers, at least for tonight, Mitten and LeKelt, not in the lineup right now.
No.
Both kind of nursing something with their leg, because I've seen Mitten kind of moving around trying to work out some kinks. I think he had a cramp. That's what I think he's dealing with.
He may have had a cramp, and Mitten's been playing both ways, too. He's been a stud on defense. He's been a stud on offense. You know, he's actually a really good pass protector as well, too. So we did have a change there. We had number 64 checking in the game for the Wildcats. Noah Hangen, 5'6", 160-pound offensive lineman and linebacker against the special team work.
So Kelly set to kick it. We got Cole back there to receive it with one of his Seahawk teammates. Cole gets it at the 2. Finds a little running space, gets swarmed under by a bunch of Wildcats. Think he might have got, I'm going to say he got to the 22-yard line.
Maybe, yep, 22.
And got pushed back. So
21.
So 20 yards on the return is what I'm going to call it. Noah Hangen on the stop for
big
the
old
Wildcats.
Hangen.
Good job.
My man
Just
Hangen.
noticed he got in there and he got a stop.
Well, that's a way to get yourself noticed out there is on special teams. So if you can get a chance to get some reps, you got to get out there and take advantage of all your opportunities. But that goes for all sports. Anytime you get an opportunity to get in the game and play, make it to where the coach cannot ever take you out.
That's right. Make the coach have a tough decision on who
Absolutely.
goes in next. I didn't like that as a coach when they did that, but I liked it at the same time.
Right, it's hard.
So Mather in the shotgun, sends a man in motion. Going to hand it off to Ing. Ing gets met in the backfield, dives forward for a pickup of about 1. I'm guessing
I can't
52. 52, Michael Gomez. That's who I was going to guess it was.
I have to put these on now.
I forgot mine. So, it's going to be 2nd down and 2. What? No. 2nd down and 8 after a pickup of 2. The ball's on the 24-yard line. Had a little equipment malfunction for one of the Seahawks. They had to go off the field dealing with their helmet.
You know, I wonder if there's some like infringement going on with that Seahawk logo they're wearing. Or do they care about that stuff in Canada?
We don't know. Shotgun, handoff to Ing. Ing loses yards.
Yes, he does.
Back to the, even beyond the original line of scrimmage, back to the 20. I think 30 was on the stop for us, wasn't it? Ethan DeStrong.
Yes, sir.
Third down, 12 yards to go. I'm guessing they're going to go to the aerial attack. Probably looking in the direction. Actually, they've stayed away from 11. I think they're going to look towards Brandon Johnson, number 7.
I was going to say
he's at the bottom of the screen here.
Yeah, he's been their leading receiver all night. So why not go back to him if he's been making the plays?
Mather makes a change. A little hand signal out to his receivers.
Good disguise.
Goes right up the middle. Oh.
Good call.
No call right there. Looks like a little contact just as the ball was getting there. No call made. I think it was based on where the ball was. Probably uncatchable.
See, we got people over here losing their minds right now. And you got to keep it together on the football field because these are the type of penalties when we get these types of things after a big stop. This is the type of stuff that could hurt your team.
So the penalty looks like it's going to be on the Wildcats.
Yes, it is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wildcats.
And that's a first down.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And because it's unsportsmanlike, I think it's automatic first down.
Yeah, he's got to keep his cool on that.
So because it's unsportsmanlike, the white hat is coming over, I believe, to explain to Coach Hughes
he's ejected.
Well, I think he gets 2 before he's out, or maybe he is ejected. I don't know. But normally you get the unsportsmanlike conduct and then the little thumb movement where he's out of the game, and we didn't see that, so I don't think he's been ejected. But definitely, I'm pretty sure you get 2 of those in a game, and then you're ejected. So that 15-yard penalty turns a 3rd and 12 into a 1st and 10 after they march it off. So Mather this time is going to hand it off. Nowhere for that runner to go. I think that's Diaz.
There should be a flag right there doing that.
Number 30 on the stop once again. No, 20. I think it was 20. Bennett Anderson on the stop. Also in there is Michael Gomez.
Yeah, both Gomez and Bennett Anderson are making really smart plays and good teamwork on their tackling there. So Anderson, though, especially coming from his defensive back position, he's basically being like an extra linebacker in the box there, shutting down the run. So he's doing a really nice job there, even for only being 150 pounds.
So Mather's got him in the shotgun once again. He's got 4 receivers in the set, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. He's looking down to the bottom, in and out of the hands of number 2. That's Xavier Cole. 28, Gabriel Daggett on the coverage is going to bring up a 3rd down and 13. The ball's on the 32.
I tell you what, Xavier Cole has dropped a lot of balls that have been in and out of his hands tonight. So that might be one thing he may want to go back to the old drawing board and work on, maybe getting some receiver gloves or something if you're going to be a receiving running back.
So now they're going to send trips to the bottom. Corbin Grant is in the slot. Mather straight drop pass. He looks to the top of the screen. Little hook to their leading receiver, number 7, Brandon Johnson. He gets right to the sticks. It's going to depend on the spot on whether or not they have the first down. 26, Brendan Anderson on the coverage and the stop. They do give him the first down. 1st and 10, 13-yard pickup on that pitch and catch.
You know, I tell you what, though, that was actually a really nice ball. It was placed nice and low, only to where his receiver can get that. But also with our guy, Brendan Anderson, he had nice, good coverage and didn't give up too much more yardage.
And that ball came out well before the receiver turned. Hand off to Ing.
Nice.
Ing again gets drugged down from behind. It's 52, Gomez, the first man there. Or is it 51, Nathaniel Nunez, actually, the first man there.
Yeah, Nunez.
Picked up 4.
Nunez right there got good penetrations from his defensive tackle position there. Was able to shuck the man in front of him and just hold on for dear life and hold him back.
Second down, 6 yards. Ball's on the 49 of the Seahawks, right about the middle of the field. 1 yard shy of it. Ings to the left of Mather. Mather giving some final instructions to him. Pretend handoff. Lots of pressure right up the middle. Gets away from the first one. Nunez almost gets him. Then he's knocked out of bounds by the third Wildcat, and that's number 50, Brecken Collins, excuse me.
Yeah, Collins right there calling his name for the first time tonight, number 50. He's a 5'11", 180-pound defensive end, and he's also a junior.
So that loss on the play is, let's see, where do they mark it? It was a loss of 7 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 12. And that ends the third quarter of play with the Wildcats leading by a score of 23-7 with 1 quarter remaining. So the thing that I'm noticing right now on the sideline is LeKelt, number 45, Caden LeKelt. He's actually sitting on the bench with his helmet off.
Yeah, he's done for the night.
I'm pretty sure he's done for the night. Hopefully nothing too major. He'll be able to recover, be ready for next season as they travel. Haven't seen Mitten on the field since the last play that he had on offense, which was when they had a turnover. And so some ups and downs definitely in this second half so far, especially on the injury list. But the Wildcats doing a good job, still leading this thing by a score of 23-7.
They really are. So we just got to slow down that injury bug. And honestly, right now, probably after one more score, this is probably where you start subbing just a little bit more and start taking your top dogs out and make sure we can be healthy into next week. And who do we have next week?
You're going to have to give me a minute on that one.
Fair enough.
I'll be looking for it as we have some breaks in the action. So 3rd down, 12 yards to go. Ball's on the 43-yard line. Mather pump fakes, going deep, looking for 7. Overthrows their intended receiver, Brendan Johnson. Good coverage by the Wildcats by number 6, Dean, and 26, Anderson as well. 4th down. 12 yards to go. Ball's on the 43-yard line. Think they're going to punt this thing away.
I would hope so.
So these Wildcats, after tonight, they're going to be on the road for the next 2 weeks. They're going to go down to Marysville, Pilchuck next week on Friday. Actually, Friday the 13th is when they're playing. And then they're going to go to Cedar Woolley the week after that.
Cedar Woolley.
On September
home
20.
of the Cubs.
Yep. And before they come home on September 27th, versus Stanwood.
You think I'll be called a traitor if I'm on the
You need to be on our sideline.
But that's where I go hang out, though.
That's okay. So we got a little contact, but no penalty flag.
Yeah, that was close.
Short punt, backs up. The Seahawks touch it dead at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Wildcats take over. 14-yard punt. Wildcats take over. Simpson's going to go back out there. Under center. 26. Brendan Anderson's going to be in the backfield. There's 4 receivers in this set, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Little one-step drop, looking for a man deep. And we got a penalty flag that gets thrown in there late. I think that ball was intended for number 10. 13, Aiden Schofield. And I think we're going to have a holding, defensive holding, or a defensive pass interference based on where that flag came out.
Well, yeah, because I was a little surprised that he missed by that much, yeah.
Pass interference.
I like it. Well, that actually makes total sense because our guy would have been wide open, and that looked like a pretty good ball thrown by Cameron there of the Wildcats.
So that 15-yard penalty, you're going to take the ball from the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. It's going to march it off 15 yards. It's going to take it down to the 41-yard line. Inside Seahawks territory, where it's going to be a 1st down and 10 for your Wildcats. If you're just joining us, in the first quarter, the Wildcats trailed to start the game, giving up a touchdown, 7-0. Then they scored, but missed the extra point. Simpson's got a man, intended receiver was 33, Marcus Aurelio. Yeah, I think it's Aurelia.
I tell you what, if Cameron actually sets his feet on that and hits number 33 of the Wildcats, that's 6 right there.
Yeah.
If he spins to the outside, that's wide open. So he's got to, when you have those intermediate throws, those are the types of throws you have to have in the spread concept offense. Got to have those.
It looked like the ball was tipped as well. Penalty flag's going to be illegal motion. Is going to back him up 5 yards. Yeah, a little jump a little early. Looked like by Gomez possibly. So after the score was 7-6, the Wildcats then scored again and went for the 2-point conversion and converted it, making it 14-7. Then they gave up the football as they were going in for another score, but it was deep in territory for the Seahawks. And they gave up a safety, making it 16-7, and then that was the halftime score. And then in the third quarter, Wildcats got another touchdown score to make it 23-7, which we have right now. 72, Jackson Higman now in the football game. Simpson goes under center, T formation. He's going to hand it to Brendan Anderson, looking for some space to run. Not a lot, as number 21, Kaysen Randhawa was in to make a disruption to the play.
It was, but I tell you what, Jacob Mitten did a really nice job from his blocking running back spot there. He was actually getting beat on the blocks, so he just went with it and took his man with him, and that's what you're taught to do. It's a very good job by that young man.
3rd down, 14. Ball's on the 46-yard line. This time Mitten's going to get it. He's got a little running room. Got touched in the backfield, but brought it back to the original line of scrimmage, where it's going to be 4th down and 10 yards to go. Mitten's still dealing with some leg issues, though. You can see it.
Yeah. He just doesn't look healthy right now.
No.
Probably looks like a little cramp.
Think it's I'm guessing it's cramping, but it's tough to tell. Yeah, he's rubbing those calves, trying to stretch it out. So 4th down, 10 yards to go. Asensen is going to be in the shotgun formation, and he's got Anderson to his left. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. He's going to roll to his left. Finds a man in number 10, Kelly. It's not going to be enough for a first down, so they're going to turn it over on downs, but the pass is complete. Tackle made by number 7, Brandon Johnson.
Good for about 6 yards, short of the first down marker. Brandon Johnson and Manny Sahara.
It's a good pass, good route concept. I like the fact that Cameron right there actually set his feet on that particular play and threw a good strike. It was accurate. He had a nice, good, tight spiral. It was on the money, and that's what you want to see from that young man, is that type of improvement.
So 73, Jacob Bevel is in the football game on defense. Mather shotgun, gets rid of it in a hurry. Oh, incomplete pass. Both the receiver and the defender slipped. Chris Hoppick on the coverage. Dylan Davidson was intended receiver.
Yeah, Hoppick, the 5'11", 160-pound defensive back, had nice, good coverage. He's had good, tight coverage all night tonight. So it's kind of interesting to finally see him challenge Chris over there, and he stepped up to the challenge.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
We were short a man on that last play.
Mather.
Or do we have 12?
Legal substitution.
On who?
Us. Nope, offsides.
No.
Offsides on the defense is the call.
So offsides on the defense. It's going to take, just move the ball the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, correction. Offsides on the offense.
Okay, I was like,
going to back them up 5 yards.
I was going to say, because we're going the wrong way if it's defense, right?
Yeah. So that's what the White Hot signaled, though. So it's second down at 15 now. Oh, good running lane right there for Ing. Most running yards he's had all night. Ooh. Gets into Wildcat territory, drugged down at the 42-yard line by number 6, Dean. Dominic Dean makes the stop.
See, right there, the Oak Harbor Wildcats, we just lost containment on the outside. So our defensive end, when he crashed in, he's going to give up that outside running lane, and sometimes you just cannot do that. So you got to maintain that, and you got to protect the outside.
Going to hand the ball off to Ing again, but Ing has nowhere to go this time. He's stopped by 73, Jacob Bevel.
A big old Bevel in there making things happen.
73 Bevel. He is a 6'4", 255-pound senior.
Hey, 6'4", 255 pounds. That's a big boy.
Big. So now we got second down 12 after a loss of 2 on the play. Mather drop back pass. That curl route has just been what they run all night long, but you know what? Number 3, Chris Hoppick, did an excellent job of defending it. That ball was thrown a little bit wide, but it came out early, and all you got to do is have the right timing, and they have had it most of the night, but Hoppick did a good job right there.
Yeah, Hoppick, he's done a really nice job all night covering his man, so you can tell that that's our number 1 cornerback of the Wildcats, because he's been on their number 1 receiver all night.
Third down, 12 yards to go. Ball's on the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. Three receivers set to the bottom, 1 to the top. Drop back pass, looking to the middle, nowhere for it. Squirts out of the pocket, getting chased by Wepley. Gets knocked out of bounds by number 51, Nathaniel Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez did a really nice, good job. Nathaniel is showing how limber he is coming from the defensive tackle position, running down the quarterback from a far distance. Nathaniel showing he's got a little bit of speed on him. I like that. And it's the 4th quarter.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down. Looks like 7 yards to go. they're going to go for it.
Come on.
Looking like a little pressure coming from the linebackers. Maybe dropped out of it now. Little 3-3 front there. Looking for the pass to a zone. No intended receiver number 4, Dylan Davidson, not there. Incomplete. Chris Hoppick on the coverage. They're going to turn over on downs for the Wildcats.
Well, you know, they've been trying Chris Hoppick all night, but all night he's been a shutdown corner. So sometime sooner or later, you're going to have to go back to your guy, number 11, number 11, Corbin Grant, for the simple fact, if this guy's got multiple scholarships offers, why are you not trying to get this dude the ball?
They haven't thrown it to him but like twice.
Right. I
don't understand.
Yeah, I'm confused on that.
So Simpson in there. Looks like he's got Mitten to his left. Drop back pass, looking to the middle. That ball, in and out of the hands. I think that was Wepley, the intended receiver. Number 7, Brandon Johnson on the coverage.
Cameron Simpson's pass intended for number 21, Calvin Wepley. Broken up on the play by number 7, Brandon.
Yeah, you can tell it's fall nights here. We got the windows open, wind chills kicking in.
Second down, 10
So we may have to start, we may have to get our leather recliners and heaters ready to go here, Shane.
Not getting wet.
Nope. That's one thing we don't have to do.
So Simpson is going to be in the shotgun once again. This time he's going to hand the ball off to Mitten. Mitten gets forward, picks up 3 yards, stopped by 74. Jaskarat Sangriha.
I like it. Zacharat.
Pick up a 3, 7 yards to go, 3rd down. Ball's on the 40. Going to roll to his right is a Simpson.
Oh, multiple levels.
Makes a move, gets past the 45-yard line, and in flies a penalty flag, bounces off the helmet of one of the players. Came from the back judge.
So that flood concept, that passing route tree that they just ran right there. So if quarterback goes through his progressions, 1, you got the flat, 2, you got the middle, 3, you got the backside over far. He's wide open by 2 steps. You set your feet, throw a good ball, and let your receiver go make the play. So he'll improve as he gets a little older and gets a little bit more experience. But those are the types of things and concepts that you got to pay attention to if you're a quarterback.
So at the end of that run, there's a personal foul, face mask. So that tacks 15 yards onto that 7-yard run. So the Wildcats now have a 1st down and 10. Ball's inside the 40-yard line of the Seahawks on the 39.
Good call.
Hand off to Mitten.
Look at that.
He's got nothing but green in front of him. One man to beat. Breaks another tackle inside the 10-yard line, dropped at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Wildcats, and he just decided, I'm going to get to the end zone, and he just about did.
I tell you what, Jake Mitten is shown to be that type of player that you're so glad has come on and stuck around with the program. So he didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, but this year he's showing he's a stud on defense and absolutely one of the most patient runners I've seen in a very long time for the running back position here in Oak Harbor. Nice job, young man.
3 receivers to the top of the screen. Mitten's going to get the football again. Nowhere really to run, but he still squirts forward to about the 5-yard line where it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5. One of the things that's always impressed me about Wildcat runners is they rarely go backwards.
No, rarely.
If they get hit for a loss, they somehow find their way back to the line of scrimmage on almost every play.
Well, one thing, that the Wildcats have always taught, though, too, is that they've taught these guys to have good contact courage. And that's what you have when you were running the wing tee concept. And it's transitioned well to the spread concept.
So Minton's going to get it again on the pitch. This time he's going to get himself into the end zone for a touchdown. Wildcats score. 6:28 remaining in the football game. Wildcats take a 29-7 lead with the extra point upcoming.
Well, I tell you what, so Mr. Minton right there, number 32 for the Wildcats there, Jake, I almost called him his dad, sorry. He is showing that if you're a patient runner, if you follow your blocks like it's designed to, you're going to get the intended yardage that you need. And he's been doing that all night.
So Wepley's going to do the holding. Kelly the kicking. The hold is down, the kick is up. This time it breaks the uprights from a much higher spot. Was it good? Yeah. Sorry. My angle had it going through the uprights.
I thought it went through too.
Not good. It must have been wide to the left. So the score remains 29-7 with 6:28 remaining in the football game.
Well, honestly, do you think about start making sure you get your younger kids in, start making sure they get their playing time, and start taking your starters out so they're ready to go versus Marysville? Because that's a conference game, isn't it?
Yes, Maryville's conference next week. So
honestly, my starters right now, that's a wrap.
Well, and with the amount of cramping I think is going on, there's a player down on the sideline right now, Trainer Trev, working out some cramps. I can't see the number from right here. So I think it is that time. It's time to just say, hey, let's get that second unit in there. Good job, first unit. You did your job. Let's get that second unit some reps under Friday Night Lights and get ready for next week. So 24, Daniel Baraja is in the game. Kelly with the kick. It's going to go to Diaz. Check that. It's Cole. Cole runs at one of his own men. Almost goes down, doesn't. Backtracks. Finds a little bit more space. Gets the ball to the 29-yard line where he's brought down by, it looks like number 26. Hangen make a stop 64. Against 64.
Yeah.
Hangen in on the stop. I think 26, Brendan Anderson in there as well.
Good old Noah Hangen. You know, he still never found that G.I. Joe I planted at his house when his parents bought my childhood home.
That's some detail that nobody really needed.
I'm just saying, you know. It's been like 4 years. Every time I see him, like, you ever find that G.I. Joe? Like, it's there. You got to go look for it.
It's there somewhere.
You got to go find it.
All right. So I look out there. There are a few different faces in there. Trevor Adams is in at defensive end. No. So Mather drops back to pass, looks in the direction of number 2, Cole. Incomplete pass, great coverage right there by number 26, Brendan Anderson.
Yeah.
Puts a lick on Xavier. I guess it was Deggett, number 28, on that coverage.
It was a good play, good defensive play too there. He actually had really good pressure actually from number 73 of the Wildcats, Jacob Bevel. Bevel actually, he did a really nice job by getting penetration. He was able to actually get rid of that right guard there, who he actually outweighs by about 15 pounds, and just muscle him and actually just get good pressure on the quarterback.
Mather this time is going to keep it. Going to go to the short side of the field, picks up about 7.
Now, since the game is a little out of hand with the Wildcats ahead 29-7, number 33 of the Wildcats actually did a really smart move. Marcus Arola, okay, he's basically an athlete on the field. He's a senior. He had the chance to take the shot on the offensive player on the out of bounds and actually let up on that. So we did not get penalized. So that's actually a really good heads-up play by that young man right there.
Under center's Mather, hands the ball off to Ing. Ing busts loose. Got one man to beat. Great job right there of getting a shoestring tackle. I think that's 33.
Yep.
Marcus Areola.
Marcus with the shoestring tackle.
Saved the touchdown.
See, right now, these kids need to focus. Don't worry about what the crowd's doing. We need to focus on the defense and get a stop, because we cannot be giving up big yardage like that when we make substitutions.
Yeah, so 24, Daniel Barajas is coming in the game. Back in the game is number 51, Nathaniel Nunez.
Yeah, you know, we talked a lot about when you get your opportunities, how to not get off the field. That's one quick way to lose your opportunity to play when you give up big runs like that.
So the one thing that I'm noticing here is I don't even see number 11 on the field.
No.
For the Seahawks. That's illegal motion. They didn't call it.
Oh.
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 Whew. Overthrew it because he had a wide open receiver right there.
Whew. That was
for Brendan Johnson.
That was almost some ESPN music right there. Yeah, number 3 there, Chris Hoppick, he actually just bit on the double move.
Yep.
And sometimes that's pretty hard. You know, that's kind of hard to lay off that when you're a young DB. But you got to recognize that. But they've been setting that up all night.
Yeah, they've been running the curl,
all night.
curl. Oh, curl fake.
Yeah, I mean, so I probably would have ran after it too, right?
Curl
and go.
So we got second down, 10 yards to go. Ball's on the 26-yard line of the Wildcats. Mather brings him to the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 backs in the backfield now. Sends one in motion. Sends him back in motion the other way. Handoff. Nowhere for Ing to go. Who's that got into the backfield?
52.
52, Michael Gomez.
Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez has been a man on a mission tonight. Got to tell Taylor Burton about this guy. It's a good linebacker for you.
We got 5 minutes and counting remaining in the football game. We got third down and 14 for the Seahawks. And no, ladies and gentlemen, the Wildcats are not playing the Seattle Seahawks.
No, we're playing the Canadian Seahawks.
So Mather, shotgun, gonna drop back pass, has a man, and Brendan Johnson breaks a tackle, splits the defenders, and ends up in the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Seahawks. 4:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. And we have a flag on the play, so we'll see what that is before they put the points on the board.
Right, hold
we got a personal foul chop on the Wildcats.
No good.
Roughing the quarterback actually is the call. So I
they'll
think
add that on the.
I think they'll accept the penalty.
Because that gets added on the kickoff, I believe.
Well, no, I think they have to decline the penalty so they get the touchdown.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Roughing the passer. Oh no, they've elected. You're right. They elected to to have the penalty enforced at the kickoff.
Yep.
So the touchdown stands. It's 13-29 in favor of the Wildcats. Extra point coming here for the Seaquam Seagulls. Sorry, Seahawks. I want to call them the Seagulls. I don't know why.
Hey, we can call the Hawks the Seagulls. I'm all right with that because they're going to get beat by the Bengals on Sunday. Yeah, I said it. I said it.
You're funny. That goes right through the uprights. 14-29 now the score with 4:25 remaining. Wildcats are going to get the kickoff here soon and be back on offense.
Yeah, so right now, the Wildcats, I'm sure going to play some ball-controlled offense here. They're going to want to just basically pound the ball, make sure the kids that, you know, you have your first string and you got your second string. So right now, this is the point where you kind of get your younger kids some action, make sure they're getting built up, they get some varsity reps. Because as you know, in football, anything could happen at any given time. So you just want to make sure that everybody's prepared and everybody's got a little bit of tape. Well, I got to say, though, it's been interesting watching the spread offense concept. I can tell you, Coach Hughes, his concepts for his passing route tree have been fantastic, awesome, and unbelievable. I mean, he's got the short routes, he's got the medium routes, he's got the deep routes, and he's got them all comboed together to where that they work well together. But the thing I'm most impressed about is his wide receivers have picked up on that, and that's a really hard thing to do, and that's what I'd like to see. They're only going to improve and get better on that.
Yeah, definitely. As they learn, and that's one of the goals that Coach has, is just get better every week and compete.
Exactly. So you got Will Rankin in there wearing number 9, getting some defense. He's got that old school Marshall Lobostal number on there. That should be retired. I always say this is the house that Marshall built.
So the pass play that scored the touchdown was a 31-yarder. There was a personal foul roughing the passer on the play. It's a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. So they're going to be kicking off to the Wildcats on the Wildcats' 45-yard line.
There you go. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of football history. 1995, number 88 was worn by Mike Schaefer. Versus Snohomish High School, he picks up a fumble on the 4-yard line and rumbles for a touchdown. I'm only telling you that because I see a number 88 on the field, but that's some Oak Harbor Wildcat history for you.
So they go for the onside kick. Wildcats have it in their arms, I believe, and they're blowing it dead. And yes, a Wildcat looks like number 88.
Hey, there you go.
Number 88, Trevor Adams, with the football on the attempted onside kick.
Yeah, that's a good job by Trevor Adams and invoking the old Mike Schaefer number. I like it. I like it.
Well, and that's one of those situations where you can't advance it.
Right.
And so he got it, and they blew it dead right there. Going to be 1st and 10. The ball's going to rest on the 31-yard line.
Well, right now, I'll give you another history lesson here. Number 14 out there for the Wildcats, Aiden Schofield. He's 5'9", 150 pounds. Kind of reminds me of the old Clarence Lamont number, about the same size.
So White hands the ball off to Anderson. Anderson got a little jersey grab, slowed him down enough that he gets stopped. Brandon Johnson on the tackle. He's the leading receiver tonight for the Seahawks.
Yeah, he's actually had a really nice game from the wide receiver position. I mean,
to the point that I think that they switched jerseys, because we were told Corbin Grant was going to be the man, but he's not even on the field.
No. Like, where is this guy?
He must have got hurt. Is the only thing I can think of, because he's not on the field. So White hands the ball off once again. And Anderson finds a huge hole, takes advantage of it, gets into Seahawks territory. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Ball's going to be on the 42.
I tell you what, that was a great block there for the Wildcats, number 80, Nathan Hummel. Nathan Hummel, he's 6'2", 200-pound tight end right there. He was able to manhandle the man in front of him and just dry block him all the way down the field to open up that big old hole for the Oak Harbor Wildcats running back. That's a great job.
So Cato White in the shotgun again. He's got Anderson to his right. And we got a little
was he going to throw that?
Little anxious. I think he was going to throw it. So we got a little illegal procedure. It's going to back him up 5 yards. It's going to be 1st down and 15.
Yep, because you got to switch at wide receiver as well. You got Will Rankin. So the young sophomore, he's 6'2", 155. Now Rankin, he comes from a very athletic family. So he's another kid that's got some skill. He's at the bottom left of your screen there.
It's a handoff to Anderson. Anderson gets the penalty back and then a couple more yards. Gets the ball to the 40, where it's going to be second down and 8.
Why do you say stop the clock, though?
Timeout was called by the Wildcats.
There we go. Make sure we get the right subs in.
2:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. Timeout, Seahawks. So first timeout of the half.
I guess it was timeout Seahawks. They want the ball back.
I like it. I just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
So looking ahead here, once again, if you're just joining us, the Wildcats are going to travel for the next 2 weeks in a row. On the 13th, they're going to be at Marysville Pilchuck. That's going to be the first game of the league season.
God, that's early.
Yeah, for the Wildcats. Some of them played it this week, I think. And then the next week, September 20th, they're going to go to Cedar Willie, take on the Cubs.
Home of the Cubs.
And then on Friday, September 27th, they'll be back here versus Stanwood for the second league game of the season.
They better handle business for Stanwood.
So White's going to fake the handoff, throws a pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, which was number 13.
Yep.
13 is Aiden Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield's got to make that play. That was actually a really nice delivered ball by number 14 of the Wildcats, Cato White there. He used all of his 5'9" frame to see over his offensive line to deliver a good ball on the quick slants. One step, throw it, fire it, right to his chest. You got to catch that.
Third down, 8 yards to go, ball's on the 40. He's going to roll to his left. The lefty's rolling left. Has a man.
Nice.
Oh, he got a foot in bounds.
Yep.
That's going to be a catch right there.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
So Schofield looks like he drug a foot in, made the catch.
I thought
Officials saw it differently, called him out of bounds.
Hey, you know what though? That counts for us, Schofield. That's a good job.
It was a good pitch and catch right there. Just unfortunately, it was out of bounds, according to the officials. So it was out of bounds.
Good call. According to the officials, it was out of bounds.
So another pass play for White, going the same direction. This time to Rankin in. Good defensive play right there, not broken up. I think it's 25. Rowan Sahota.
Yeah.
And the Wildcats turn it over on downs.
That's a dangerous ball to be thrown into double coverage, though. I'm not going to lie.
It would have been a good punt.
It would have been a good punt, but if you got double coverage over here onto your right-hand side, go down to your third look, he's wide open.
True.
I'm just saying.
But you got to learn that third look.
Right.
You got to learn how to make that progression, and
Wildcats
are working on that.
And they're
getting there. Spread offense.
It is.
I just got one word for you: wing T.
That's right. For 20 plus.
Yeah, they're learning a new system.
For 20 plus.
And they're doing great tonight. By the way.
Actually, you know what? They're doing really good tonight.
Mayer was not ready for that football. Gets a completion though. Great job by 26 for the Wildcats. That's Brendan Anderson. The snap came early and nobody was ready to go. Nobody moved but the football.
But hey, football's moving. Defense is going.
So it picked up 1 yard on that pass completion to Brendan Johnson. And I got to hand it to the coaching staff really tonight. Marcus Hughes, with all this new scheme, both on the offense and the defensive side of the football, he got his football team ready to come out here and compete, and they've been doing what they need to do to win one.
Yes, they have.
Mather gets a long pass to the far side of the field, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Luke Siemens. Brendan Anderson on the coverage for the Wildcats.
I tell you what, Brendan Anderson, 5'6", 130-pound defensive back.
Sophomore.
He's a sophomore, and this kid's been playing like a seasoned vet out there tonight. So he looks real sharp. I'm excited to watch that kid grow.
$150 remaining in the football game. Some pressure coming. Receiver completed.
Oh, first.
Had him for the, but then he squirted forward, did Brandon Johnson for the first down.
Well, the Oak Harbor Wildcats have a lot to be proud of tonight. You know, you go from, a certain offense you've been running and defense, for that matter, for umpteen many years, to new concepts all the way around. And I got to take my hat off to the coach, to all the coaches on the coaching staff, because they've done a really heck of a job making sure the Wildcats can come out and put a nice product on the field, and that's what they've done. They've come up, they've shown up to come and play today.
Mather made a great pass once again to Brandon Johnson. Good coverage by Brendan Anderson of the Wildcats to make the stop. Also, Wepley got in there and did an excellent job of stopping and not making contact with the quarterback when he could have very easily done that, but it would have been a penalty.
Did they actually call a timeout?
Somebody called a timeout, and it was the Seahawks. So if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, the score is 29-14 in favor of the Wildcats with 1 minute and 21 seconds remaining in the football game. It's been a up and down football game, to say the least, with some highs and some lows. The Wildcats have had 4 turnovers tonight, but they lead on the scoreboard. And Coach Marcus Hughes done a great job getting his team ready, working with his coaching staff to prepare these young men to come out here under Friday Night Lights, because they are very young, with only a handful of seniors, many juniors in the starting lineup, and quite a few sophomores actually in that starting lineup. 2 of them on the offensive line and 2 of them in the secondary of the defense.
Well, right. Well, and honestly, the young sophomores on the offensive line, and then some of the sophomores that are playing in the defensive backfield have actually really shown a lot of mature and a lot of growth over 4 quarters tonight.
So Mather, 2nd down and 7, balls on the Wildcats' 46-yard line. Takes the shotgun snap, gets some pressure, gets hit as he releases.
Yeah, he got
nobody killed at the other end. Number 30 for the Wildcats, Ethan Deschrong on the stop.
Well, it's never easy to take a hit like that, so it's kind of good that that young man was able to get up and make a play.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Ball still on the 46-yard line. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass, so there's no hurry in the Seahawks right now. They're down by 15. Drop back pass, look in the direction of Johnson, connected. Great tackle by number 3, Chris Hoppick. Close to first down yard, is going to be just shy. It's going to be 4th down and a short 1 yard.
Yeah, he's got to feel pretty good about that.
Just short of the first down marker. It'll be 4th down and 1.
So Mather gets a call to everybody. They got a stack formation down here at the bottom of the screen with 3 receivers. He's just going to do a little quick sneak straight up the middle for his Mather. Gets it inside the 40, close to the 35. Think they're going to mark it at the 36-yard line.
If this guy calls a timeout, I'll be surprised.
They did. The clock stopped. Okay. And now they're winding it. 38 seconds and counting. Mather's trying to get the play to his receivers. They're going to go deep. They got to. Straight drop back pass. Looking for 25.
Nice
Incomplete
play.
pass. Great coverage by the defense.
Yeah, Anderson right there did a nice smart move by getting his left arm up in coverage there. He actually saw ball the whole way, because that was triple coverage that he threw that ball into, but Braden Anderson there with the heads up football play to get his hands up and deflect that ball downward. Nice job.
Also in there was Gabriel Daggett. 2nd down, 10 yards to go, 18.8 seconds remaining in the football game.
You see that?
Oh. Straight drop back pass again. Looking in the direction of Johnson. Johnson can't get to it. Another incomplete pass. 13 seconds remaining. And the sight on the sideline is number 45 for the Wildcats. That's Caden LeKelt, he's on crutches. Something's going on with his left leg, and probably going to get that checked out by a doctor and see what's going on, but that's not good to see him on crutches. So this is 3rd down and 10, 36 yards on the 36-yard line. Probably 2 plays, maybe 3 left in the game, depending on what happens right here.
Oh.
Little pressure, a little more pressure, gets away from it, gonna run for it now. He gets to the 1st down and then runs out of bounds. Really smart play right there by Mather with 3.6 seconds remaining. Gets a 1st down.
Prevent, protect the goal line, fellas.
Yeah.
That's it. All you gotta do is protect the goal line. Let's get out of here. Drop everybody back. That's it.
They need 2, they need 2 scores and 2-point conversions in 3.6 seconds.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Unless we have a whole lot of penalties.
Right. I think you're right, though. I think they did switch that guy's number.
So Mather's got a ton of pressure. He does get away from it. He's also going to run, get out of bounds, and the clock expires.
That's it.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Wildcats start their 2019-20 season under the new regime of Marcus Hughes with a win over the Seahawks of Seaquam, 29-14. And there's a whole lot of good that came out of tonight, Jerry.
There's a whole lot of great that came out of tonight, I think.
So what do you think,
I like
highlight.
it.
Give me a highlight for
honestly,
this team moving on.
The highlight, honestly, is just making sure they get down their route tree and their concepts. Because I saw what he's trying to do, and I like it. We got a quarterback who can get the ball where it needs to get to. He's a little young, but he'll get cleaned up, and he'll get a little bit more confident. Our offensive line was tight tonight with their pass blocking all night tonight. Our quarterbacks had time. But honestly, I just think as they get a little bit more experience, I think they're going to be fine. And I think we're going to see these guys light the scoreboard up.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to move the ball pretty quickly, really keep defenses off balance with their different attack, with the T, running out of the spread, throwing the football. And it's just going to take some more time.
It is.
To get better every week and learn the new concepts, but the foundation is there for sure.
Right.
Their coaching staff's done an outstanding job of getting them to where they are. These kids are learning. They're going to get better. I'm really excited to see what happens at Pilchuck next week. We won't be there. We won't be back at Wildcat TV with a football game till the 27th when they're facing Stanwood here at home. So if you're going to go see the Wildcats in the next 2 weeks, you're going to have to travel down to Marysville, Pilchuck, or you're going to have to go to Cedar Woolley the following week and see them there.
Yeah, and if you go to Cedar Woolley, you got to get a Frito boat. It's like a Wildcat dog.
It's like you got to do it?
You got to do it.
All right.
It's like it's mandatory.
Okay.
Like you got to have a dog here. Got to have the Frito boat there.
In 2 weeks, it might be Frito boat time.
That's right.
Well, I think it was a really good performance, and the coaches and the players have a lot to be proud of. They got to clean some stuff up for sure. Can't have 4 turnovers against really good teams because that's going to hurt you big time. But opener, those things are going to happen, and they did a great job, and they should be proud of themselves. Any last thoughts, Jerry, before we sign off?
Yeah, go Wildcats. They look really good tonight, and I'm really happy with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Hughes. He's got to feel really good about taking over a program and with the talent level he has, and it looks like he's on the right track to do good things.
Well, started the season 1-0. Got to be happy about that. Looking to go 1-0 next week and get it done.
1 week at a time.
1 week at a time. Next man up, it might look like with LeKelt with a little bit banged up, but they got a little depth as we could see tonight. They got some other guys in there. I'm wishing these guys luck next week, and we'll see you in a few weeks right here on the 27th versus Stanwood. Check
Wait, and I think we're streaming on YouTube TV. Yeah, so it's OHHS Wildcat Media at YouTube.com. So that's where you guys can find the stream, and of course, Comcast Channel 21 So we're all over the place now.
So if you can't get out here next week on, in 3 weeks, Friday Night Lights on the 27th.
That's right.
Just tune into the internet.
That's
Boom.
right. Boom.
You got us.
It's like you're there.
It's like you're here.
It's just like you're there.
All right. So for Jerry Oliver, I'm Shane Evans. We'll see you in a few weeks. Go Wildcats. Enjoy your weekend. Check the website. Find some other sports you go see to support those Wildcats, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Take care.
Take care.